everybody.
How's it going, guys? Did you say howdy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're already in
Howdy.
character.
Oh.
Howdy.
But we didn't saddle up yet. That's okay.
Yeah, what
How's
the
it
fuck
going,
are you
guys?
doing?
How's it going? Welcome. It's Friday night, which means it is time for Wildcards on Saving Throw, which is our Savage Worlds Deadlands Reloaded show. So thank you for joining us. We're going to be doing a little bit of some Weird West fun tonight. But before we do that, we should probably introduce everyone. So my name is Jordan Caves-callarman. I am the marshal of this here table, and I'm 5'10". Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
show off.
Wow.
Yeah. So why don't we start down at the other end and let everyone know who you are, who your character is, and how much your character weighs. What?
My character weighs.
How much your character
Sure.
weighs.
Okay. Brilliant. Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Glad to see you here. My name's Dom Zook, and I play James Bogue, the gunslinger. And James Bogue is, I'm going to say he's 190.
190? How tall is he?
He's 6 foot.
6 foot 190. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a little thin.
A little thin.
Yeah.
A little bit of a thin dude.
I feel like this is gonna come into play during the show somehow.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna
worried about it.
use
I'm
against us.
going to poison you guys, and this is just to see how long it takes to work its way through your system. And right next to Dom Zook is James Bogue, who is 6 foot 190 pounds. We have
Oh, okay. I thought you said right next to Dom Zook is James Bogue, and I was
as
like,
James Bogue. Sorry, I was doing a whole thing.
I'm not James Bogue. I am Jordan Pridgeon, and I am playing Gabriel Prior, the con man preacher who is starting to realize that he might have a little more to his persuasive powers than just being clever. And he is... I guess he's about 6'1".
6'1".
He's about
gotta
6'1"
be-
and 180 pounds.
Thinner than you and taller.
He's a lanky kind of guy,
Okay.
probably.
Probably a lanky guy.
I just see this going up and up and up.
Let's talk about
Rosaline
what
is
he's
6
carrying.
foot 8.
Because his
and
gun belt has a
120
weight of.
pounds.
I just go over the entire encumbrance chart.
Yeah, so yeah, be sure to add your encumbrance.
We take
from
encumbrance very, very seriously.
super seriously.
Like it hours and hours off the air. We
Right.
just
Could
talk
be
about
the encumbrance show, really.
Uh-huh.
We could call this.
And then right next to Jordan Pridgeon as Gabriel Prior, who is 6'1", 180 pounds, we have.
Hi, I am Meghan Caves, and I play Rosaline Byrne, who is the huckster, and she is. I'm so okay. Weight and height.
I don't know if we're allowed to ask that. That's like that's pretty.
I don't care. Yeah, I imagine she's similar to me in size, which would be 5'6", around 130 pounds. That's what we'll say.
5'6", 130.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What's
All right.
Did I cover everything? I don't know.
You
Your
did.
weight and height, I mean, phew,
Yeah.
threw me off.
So that's Meghan Caves as Rosaline Byrne, 5'6", 130 pounds.
See, the way he's saying that, I mean, it's suspicious.
I know.
Yeah.
It's suspicious.
It's very confusingly stated.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone marked that down on your key cards at home, right? Now you're gonna want to spin the dial slightly to the right based on which character you're trying to line it up with, but we'll get to there later.
Everyone has decoder rings now.
Drink your
Now,
Ovaltine.
your wild cards message of the session is DL36BBMT.
Oh my gosh. If you guys,
You can just write that down.
if we get $500 in tips tonight, I will make wild cards decoded rings.
Yes!
All of our Patreon backers, I'll make decoder rings to send to you. That is, you can take that to the bank.
Wow.
Guys, we do not have Talene Guerra as Tort Law tonight because due to new projects that she is working on that couldn't work out, she has had to leave us here on Friday nights. But next week, we will have our new cast member, who we are not telling you about yet. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it a secret.
Wait, say that again.
Secret.
We're gonna keep it a secret.
He said
Seekies.
Seekies.
That was a real thing.
It's a
a new
very
thing.
Wild West term.
Yes.
So,
Seekies is it's a lot like a sizzler in the Old West. That's what it was. Yeah.
It was all
Yep.
you could eat fried potatoes.
Yep.
And that's it.
I think I'd be okay
Seekies.
with that. Actually, I'd be okay with that.
Seekies.
we wish her luck in the project she's working on, and let's talk about some tips and stuff. So guys, it is September for the next 8 days. So right, 8 days, 30 days.
Hey,
Other John's right
that
there.
that other John Stewart, I think,
Stewart.
really wants.
Okay.
Really wants Dakota rings.
Who doesn't? All right. So that means any first-time subs to any channel can sub for half off. So if you have never subbed to Saving Throw Show before and you would like to, you can sub this month and this month only for half off the price of a normal sub.
Pretty
so
sweet
we
deal.
would definitely love it if you did. You get to unlock some cool emotes that we have available in the chat, and you get to join our awesome community. And we're glad to have you here. On top of that, you guys, we have certain tips that can be donated for or unlocked throughout the course of this show. So those come in a few different varieties. We're going to go over that real quick. So we have toasts.
Yes, we care.
Yes, we care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So toasts. We have toasts that are available. We will toast at the table to whatever it is you want us to toast to, provided you are not a jackass about it, which no one has been, so that's awesome. The first 5 toasts cost 500 gold, and that is the free currency that you guys earn.
Hey,
Take some risk.
That is the free currency that you earn just for hanging out in the Saving Throw chat. So just for being here, you're constantly earning gold, and you can use 500 of those gold pieces to unlock a toast. After the first 5 gold toasts are unlocked, the next one will be $5, and then $10, and then $15, going up $5 each time. So you can donate for toasts. That can be fun. Or you can just make a tip to the show. It'll go into our fun little tip jar, which is it's down on that corner of the screen. You can see it. It's a jar right underneath where James Bogue is pointing.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And all cash tips that we get in tonight's show will go towards unlocking the...
Don't put your hand in it. No, leave it in there.
Oh, no.
Dom!
Stop it!
Hey, stop! Lose that hand,
All of the
If
tips that we
someone
get
had
tonight's show.
donated bits while you were doing that, we would have had to stop the show.
Those are sharp.
Dom.
Those are sharp. They will go towards unlocking the various different reward tiers. So if you enter in chat !tips, you can link to our reward tiers for tonight. So there are a bunch of reward tiers that can be unlocked. Thank you for the bits. Get your hand out of there.
Stop it.
Get out of there.
I'm gonna catch him.
Jump!
No,
Jump!
no, don't catch it. You gotta...
You missed.
Oh.
Okay, good. It's for the best.
The things that can be unlocked are pieces of cursed Spanish gold, which will go onto the table, and any one of the players can use a piece of cursed Spanish gold to re-roll a trait roll, so that's any attribute or skill roll. But once they use that to re-roll one of those, it goes to me, and I can use it to re-roll rolls for any of my NPCs. That's the curse. Another thing that can be unlocked is a draw for random one of the players at the table, which is a official Savage Worlds adventure card that they get to draw from the deck. These cards give them special powers over the narrative of the game or over the mechanics of the game for a one-time use only type thing. And they can be pretty powerful and pretty crazy. We've had some weird stuff come out of them before, so those are fun. On top of that, you can also unlock plot armor. So a plot armor token, this is a little piece of plot armor that we put the token on, that will remain at the table until it's used, and the characters can choose to spend a plot armor token to reduce the severity of a wound they are about to take. So just to help keep them alive a little bit longer.
Yep,
Excuse me, I had to burp in my mouth there.
There
for a
are
second.
definitely times where someone gets shot and dice keep exploding until
God.
it's like 5 wounds at once.
Right?
It can be really helpful.
If you've never watched the show before, Jordan has performed some sort of black magic on his own dice.
Yep.
So whenever he GMs something, his dice typically roll as high as they possibly
They
can.
roll perfectly.
It's ridiculous.
Many multiple times.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It doesn't work when I play, just when I GM. I roll pretty crappily when I play, actually. And then the other thing that you can unlock is cleansed Spanish gold. So that is curse-free Spanish gold that everyone can use to reroll.
Thank
you
you,
for the bits,
RJ.
Nook. And those will stay at the table in between sessions until they are used. I think that's it. There's also some fun story rewards that can get unlocked, which I think we've already unlocked one of.
Yay.
Which
Wow.
I will verify here in a little bit. But those will change the course of the game, maybe the course of this session, maybe the course of the whole season as a whole, depending on Nightsteed. Thank you for the
Nightsteed.
tip.
Thank you. Depending on
Depending on Nightsteed.
Depending on Nightsteed.
It's all up to you.
So check those out as well.
And everyone else, thank you.
If you see anything that looks like fun that you want to unlock, we appreciate the tips. It helps keep the lights on here and helps us keep producing awesome content for you to watch and enjoy. So thank you guys for hanging out and for playing this game with us. Let's recap
Okay.
what happened last time. So, James Bogue returned to Coldwater Creek from his ranging, trying to find Adrian Meeker, an agent of the Baron that he has dedicated his life to hunting down.
Thank you, the
The
bard.
Bard 1971, thank you. Upon his return to Coldwater Creek, a little bit outside of town, he found a campsite where a couple of men were being intimidated by another couple of men, all rather rough-looking people. And James Bogue was able to get the intimidators to go away, but then found out the people he had saved claimed to be working with Colt Holbrook, who was the outlaw leader that burned down a good part of Coldwater Creek, but was stopped by the posse when he was shot through the side of the face and his throat was cut. So he is supposed to be very dead, but they were apparently recruiting for his gang. James Bogue was then snuck up on by a mysterious person who seemed to know his name and sent him back into town without a backward glance.
No, he knew my name. He didn't seem to know it.
He did.
Yeah.
He did know his name. But it seemed unusual
But it also
that he
seemed
would.
as though he knew his name.
Yeah, all of those things happened. Gabriel Prior gave a nice sermon the next morning at church and exhorted, he had a discussion with Gerald Richards, who advised him to maybe use this sort of persuasive power that he has over the people of Coldwater Creek to add some goodness into their lives. So you ask them to just sort of look out for one another and try and help each other from time to time, if they could. James Bogue returned, and everyone was glad to see him. They all shared information. And the doc of the town, Doc Hollingsbeck, came and got their attention and wanted to bring up this weird sickness that was coming around, mostly through the miners of town, where their temperatures would keep skyrocketing, and if they didn't fight it off, one of them spontaneously combusted, leaving behind a pile of ashes and a lump of ghost rock the size of a man's fist,
Like
or
miners
maybe a
do.
man's heart. Yeah, they do that.
Real common.
Yeah. So they investigated that. They talked to Prof. Brown, who they have a rocky relationship with due to an unfortunate shooting accident in the past. But they were able to figure out this was something that seemed to be ghost rock fever, and they took that information to Carlton Harris, the mining magnate who recently returned to town in Doc James V's flying air carriage, a giant Zeppelin. And
Not ostentatious at all.
we're barely able to convince him to maybe try and give his miners a little bit of a ventilated break so that they didn't explode. They walked back outside only to find a woman crying over her child who would not wake up. And that child's name was Presley Riddle, the young scamp that has been an informant for Gabriel Prior as the preacher of Coldwater Creek. So that was what happened last time. Let's do some fate chips.
Okay.
Fate.
Everyone's gonna draw some fate chips. James Bogue, draw 3 fate chips.
Everybody's going to draw.
James Bogue has,
Drawing all
he's
them
just got
fate
normal
chips.
fate chip amounts, so he gets 3 at the start of each game. You got 2 reds and a white.
All right then.
Gabriel Prior has 2 edges that increase his luck, so he gets to draw 5 fate chips at the beginning of each round.
1, 2,
Each
3.
game, I mean. Not each round, that would be crazy.
Each. You said it. Each
Yep.
round.
Nope. It's canon now.
No take backs.
All right. I got 3 whites and 2 reds.
Wow. Whites
Hey,
and 2
for
reds.
you, right?
I can turn one fate chip of any color into a blue fate chip effectively.
That's another edge.
And I can also give my fate chips to other people in
Yeah.
the group. So
2 whites and a blue.
Yeah, 2 whites and a blue.
And then
not
I
bad.
get a fate chip for each
Pretty
one of
neat.
these lovely people at the table. So I'm going to draw 3 here.
Hey, Sil.
Hey, Sil, thank you for the tip.
Well, thank you.
And I got 2 whites and a blue as well. So let's talk about fate chips real quick. Fate chips can be used in the game. A white fate chip can be used to re-roll any trait roll. So that's a skill or ability roll. They can re-roll that, including a critical failure, which you cannot use Curse Spanish Gold to re-roll, but you can use a fate chip to re-roll. You can also use a fate chip to automatically unshake yourself in combat. That's a negative status that you get in combat that is the first step towards getting seriously hurt. So you can spend one of those at any point to automatically unshake. And you can also spend a white fate chip to try and soak a wound. So if you're about to take a lot of damage, you can spend one of these and roll to see if you can reduce the severity of that wound or just negate it entirely. A red fate chip works exactly like a white fate chip, with the added power that you can add a d6 to any roll that you make, apart from damage. But if you use a red fate chip in that way, it then goes to the marshal, that's me, and I get to use it for one of my guys. And then a blue fate chip is the best one. It works just like a red fate chip with no downside. So you can use it as a white fate chip, or you can use it to add a d6 to any roll with no downside. So I got 2 whites and a blue, and we'll put those here in front. Right there. So we have all of our fate chips.
Heels.
We recapped. We went over the tips. We met everybody.
What happens after all this?
We go home.
I think we should. Good night, everybody. That's our time.
Thanks,
Yep,
Brandon.
cool.
No.
Well, that's how RPGs work.
Rules. We saddle up. Let's saddle up. Just me. Everyone else has all their stuff on. And let's go through some of the stuff that you guys have unlocked here on my fun screen. So we have a toast. Everyone raised their customary first shot glass for the first toast of the night.
You're not gonna.
Oh,
You're not
shot
gonna do
glass.
it?
I'm doing it.
This is a toast from the other Jon Stewart.
Gross as shit.
Is that correct? Is that a toast from the other Jon Stewart, or is that just a
Yes.
message? Okay.
Oh, he just says happy Friday.
Oh, never mind. This is not a toast from the other Jon Stewart, but he says Happy Friday to you,
Happy
other Jon
Friday.
Stewart.
Friday.
BSB Care though has a toast for us.
Okay.
Yes.
BSB Care would like us to toast. Begun the prop wars have. Uncanny Valley shall go down. Begun the prop wars have. Uncanny Valley shall go down. Set him up.
We're actually all friends.
Clink. And knock him down.
Coca-Cola goes down smooth.
good,
See, I'm
right?
fine.
That is a super sour beer.
Oh,
We
it
got a
is?
Western beer that is made with cactus, grapefruit,
Yep.
and coriander, and it's real sour.
It's sour.
Real sour.
I haven't tried
And
it.
we had gross vodka with lemonade. And, it's vodka with a little bit of lemonade in
So
I had
delicious.
it. I hate
Coca-Cola.
vodka.
How many Cokes, Bogue?
One
One Coke, Bogue.
Where's your other Coke?
Coke.
Okay, well, that's fine. So toasts are going to be fun tonight because apparently none of us like what we're drinking except for Dom.
Actually, I like the beer.
Okay,
It's-
good.
It's kind of tart.
Add
It's
some
very
lemonade
tart.
to it.
No, Risky
That's a
Pixels has a
horrible
toast
idea.
for us. We have a Risky
Okay.
Pixels toast.
All right.
Ricky Pixels.
Ricky Pixels.
Ricky Pickles.
To Tortlaw, may you find all of the breakfast soup you desire. To Tortlaw, may you find all of the breakfast soup you desire. Set him up and knock him down. Thank you for that, Risky Pixels.
Oh,
And
So sour.
going back to BSB Care,
Oh.
I don't think we have a chance of competing with Uncanny Valley's props. Have you seen those guys? They have some pretty awesome costumes and props.
Yes,
If
they
you
do.
haven't seen them,
the
Oh my gosh, the
braces,
retainer?
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
That was amazing.
So good.
if you haven't seen them, tune in this coming Tuesday at 7:30 on Pacific Time on Saving Throw and see what we're talking about. Night Steed has a toast for us.
Okay.
This one, I'm sorry, Night Steed. Risky Pixels was first, so I apologize. But may Tortlaw always have breakfast soup. May Tortlaw always have breakfast soup. Set him up and knock him down.
Oh my god.
I really like sour beers, so
I don't know that I've ever really had one.
good.
I like sour.
Also,
Yeah.
Kinda tastes
real
like
quick, guys,
caramel.
the first story tier has been unlocked.
Oh.
Sharing and caring has been unlocked. So
Sharing
thank
and
you very
caring.
much, chat. We have also unlocked a fistful of cursed Spanish gold for the
Yeah!
table.
Thank
so
you.
that's 3 pieces for you lovely people here. And we have a
Right,
draw.
middle of the road. A draw.
So you are 1 and 2, you are 3 and 4, you are 5 and 6.
Okay.
3 and 4. Gabriel Prior.
draw for game.
Draw.
Yes.
What'd you get?
I got. Get a clue. Wait, I've got an idea. Play this card for a clue from the game master for some advice or a hint on how to resolve a current predicament or problem.
Interesting.
So I hope you have in mind how to solve problems.
Interesting.
That's I got that. Yeah.
You did. You did. I don't remember
a
what you
robot
used it
man.
on.
I used it on the
Death Steal. You
yeah.
used it on Death Steal to figure out what his weak point was.
yeah.
So thank you very much, chat, for unlocking that. And then once the toasts are done, Jordan, please open the drawer on the rolling cart. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to do
Oh
that.
God, I thought you were talking to me.
What?
I'm like, what?
I thought a ghost did, but it was
Oh,
Nick.
oh no.
Ah!
Oh no. Sunflower sends his regards.
Oh
That's awful. That's so bad for me.
Okay.
But in reality,
It's bad. Growler send.
it's bad for Nick Levy because I was prepared. So Nick,
Oh.
since you iced me in absentia, I'm gonna go ahead and ice you back, bro. So the next time you're here in the studio, I'm just gonna leave this here with this one, and I can just change that to say Jordan sends his regards to you, and
how
I'm
it
just
works?
gonna put it right there, and then you can drink both of those. So thanks, buddy.
Is that how
Wow.
it works if you have a counter
Nice
ice
try,
on you?
Nick.
Yeah.
Wow.
When it shows
Yeah.
up?
That was really good. That was really good.
Wow,
That was good.
But I thought about it tonight.
He
'Cause
did.
Last time you caught me unawares, man, and that's not gonna happen again. You gotta bring the fire.
Listen, I may have said this before, but whenever he was playing this like years ago, he would walk around with them in his sleeves. He would
Just in case this happens?
Yes, in his
Wow.
sleeves.
Allegedly.
No, he did it. I was there. So, just
All right. So guys, let's jump into this. You
Okay.
walk out of the Harris mining office,
Oh.
and you see a woman cradling a small child across the street who is just limp in her arms. And she's saying, wake up, come on, Presley, wake up for mama, come on. What's wrong? And she's shaking him a little bit, but he just sort of like flops listlessly in her arms.
Gabe comes out over to her. Ma'am, I'm sorry. What's happened here? What happened to Presley?
I don't know. We were walking, and preacher he just fell over. He just dropped. I don't know what happened, but he won't wake up. He won't wake up.
I'll get down. I'll take the boy's head and I'll like put my hand over his mouth or his nose to feel if he's breathing.
Okay. Make a notice roll for me.
That's a 4, 6.
Okay. So you put your hand over his mouth, and at first it seems like he's not breathing at all, and he looks very pale. But you kind of focus and try and tune out her hysterics, and you do feel the slightest bit of breath coming out of his nose, and then once you can kind of see the slightest rise and fall of his chest. He does appear to still be breathing. It's just very, very shallow.
Does he look like he's been hurt or anything's broken or anything like that?
You rolled a 6 for your
Yeah,
notice roll?
yeah.
No, as far as you can tell, nothing seems to like be damaged. Is he okay? What are you doing?
He looks like he's still breathing. We got to get him to the doctor.
Get the boy into the doctor right now.
Oh, okay. So you guys hear a flutter of wings from behind you, and you turn back, and Tortlaw is gone.
Where?
Damn it! This would be a good time to have someone who has her sort of healing.
And as you're noticing that, you see a woman just down the ways a little bit, kind of with a concerned look, come over and say, "Excuse, is everything okay with the little boy?"
No, actually, we need the doctor. Something seems to be wrong.
Oh, and she looks over to Presley's mom and says, "Molly, do you need help with Presley?" And Molly's still in hysterics. Yes, we have to get him to the doctor. We have to get him to the doctor. So the woman goes, "Okay, well, I'll take him to the doctor," and goes over and starts trying to pull the boy out of your arms.
I got it, ma'am. No need to. No need.
He needs to go to the doctor.
I'm going
he needs
to
to
the
go right
doctor
now.
now.
She's pulling.
I'm gonna put a hand on this.
Okay.
woman.
Will you make a strength roll?
Sure.
Oh.
Uh, 5.
I also rolled a 5. So you guys are, she kind of locks her arms around his leg and arm and starts like pulling, and you're somewhat alarmed by this, and you're pulling back, and you're kind of engaged in a sort of stalemated tug of war over Presley's limp body.
Okay, so Gabe is gonna step in and like put his hand on her shoulder and be like, "Ma'am, we have the situation under control. We are taking the child to the doctors now, and it would be the best thing you could do to step off and let us handle the situation."
I understand, preacher. I'm just trying to help.
You're not helping, you're getting in the way.
At this point, a man comes over, seeing the commotion, and says, "What's going on over here?"
Well, we're trying to take this child to the doctor, and this woman has come out of nowhere and is trying to run off with him.
Ava, what do you put? Let go of that boy. This is Presley. This is Molly Riddle's boy.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, Molly's not a very attentive mother at all, and my wife can't conceive actually. So I'll just take the boy, and we can raise him. And he comes over and starts trying to pull Presley as well. So now Ava and this man and you are all trying to pull Presley at the same time. Will you make another strength roll for me? Okay, so she got a 3. What did you get?
4.
He got a 9.
This might be my fault.
So he comes over, and you guys you're still wrestling with Ava, and he just sort of scoops Presley up from beneath the arms and kind of yanks him out of your grasp, and he says, "All right, there, boy. I'll take you home to my wife. We'll make you a nice bed in the corner." And Molly is freaking out at this point. She's like, "No. Give Presley back. Get my son back. Get my son back."
I'm
All
going
right.
to go for the doctor. You all handle this. I want to just run off for the doctor.
You're going to run for Doc
Yes,
Hollingsbeck.
while they try and manage what.
All right, all of you, calm down.
Are you
The
pulling
boy
boy
down.
down.
You're pulling your gun out?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I've got my deputy badge here.
you do.
Yeah.
You do.
James, these people might not be in their right mind.
Well, I don't know what mind they're in, but this boy needs to see a doctor.
Just get him back. All right, now, everyone, just calm down. All right, my wife is a very nurturing, loving woman.
Now-
we will provide a great home for this boy.
Now
We'll
look,
nurse him back to health.
The best way to help this boy right now is to take him to the doctor. Take the boy to the doctor.
We will, but first we got to get his room set up. All right, so I'll just be.
I think you'll be stopping right where you are.
Are you gonna shoot a poor defenseless child?
You're going
right
to
now?
set that boy down until the doctor can get here.
A couple of other people are now seeing the commotion that's happening over here, and they also come striding over. They say, "What now? What's going on over here? Is
No.
everyone all right? Why are
James,
their guns out?"
put the gun away. That's not necessary. Now, please, put the boy down. We will get him to the doctors, and then you can talk about who will be raising him.
Do you all need help getting the boy away from this man?
Yes, we do.
All right, so they come right over to you, and they grab the man who has Presley by either arm and start fighting with him. At this point, Presley slips out of his grasp and just collapses into a heap on the ground, and he is now struggling back and forth with these two who have him by each arm.
Don't hurt him.
You're running over to the docks.
I imagine it's close-ish.
It's not too far away. It's like just the next street over. So you're gonna run over there and just knock on the door.
No, I'm gonna go in.
You're gonna go in.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you, BSB Care.
BSB Care. Thank you for the
Thank
tip.
you.
Woo, thanks.
So you just go barging in.
Yes. Lark.
You hear some commotion from the back, and then Lark comes out. Yes, what is it?
You
Miss
have to
Byrne?
come quick. There's Presley Riddle. Something's wrong, and the town is going a bit crazy. So you need to come and help him.
Well,
he's not breathing very well.
He's not breathing.
No, and he's not conscious.
All right, well, let me grab my bag.
All right,
and,
make
and
it
we'll
very
come
quick.
Over. All right, give me one second, Miss Byrne. He goes into the back to grab his bag, and then comes out with his bag in tow and follows you back to the street. So you guys, Presley is on the ground. That guy is wrestling with two people there. Oh man. And chat has just unlocked the Helpening. So thank you.
No.
Thank you, chat, for that. They're grabbing this guy and kind of pulling him around like that. Rosaline, as you are coming back with the doc, can you make a notice roll for me, please?
Yes. Here, dice. Ooh.
I rolled a 4, which is
5.
the top of a d4, so it aces, so you get to
Yes,
roll it again.
yes,
So you got a
yes.
5?
Yes.
And again, we're trying to hit a target number of 4 for most rolls in Savage Worlds, so 4 or greater is a success typically. So you got a 5.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're going back with the doc, and you can see that there's a small crowd forming down the street in front of these guys.
Oh, this is getting worse.
You see off to the side, there is someone hammering on the front door of the hardware store, which is closed, but you can see the proprietor inside, and they're shouting like, "You don't know how to run a business super well. Let me just come in, and I'll take over the store, and I can make sure that everything gets turned around. I'm here for you." Just bashing on the door, and then as you keep going down the street, you can see down an alleyway, it looks like someone is smashing a window of a house and trying to like crawl inside, but you can't hear what's happening from here. Are you heading back towards them?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you head back towards these guys, and there's now, like, these two they have that man that tried to take Presley by the arms. He's still fighting them. Molly is freaking out. That's Presley's mom. And then Ava is still trying, she's taking this opportunity to go over and try and take Presley as well.
I'm going to take Presley.
You're going to try and take Presley. Okay, make another opposed strength roll for me.
God.
Oh my god.
She got a 2.
Yeah.
Did you ace?
Yeah.
You got a 10. So that's a success with a raise. So every 4 over what you need to succeed is a raise that you get, which just makes it better. So yeah, before she can even like get a real grip on him, you just come over and scoop him up and hold him. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna.
These people
do
are
I
now
see the
like,
doc?
turning towards
Do
you.
I see the doc coming?
You can see him coming down the
I
street.
gotta help this boy, and I'll take him. I'll try and meet the doc halfway.
You're gonna try and meet the doc.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try and calm the crowd. Like, I'm going to be, like, kind of yelling out to everyone and be like, "Now, everyone, calm down. This is chaos, and I need all of you to keep your heads together and stop this madness."
Okay. Will you make a persuade roll for me?
Yeah.
At a -6?
Sure.
Whoa.
Yikes!
Ooh, you aced.
Ooh, that's what you want.
That is a 13 with a -6, so...
Yeah, but your
But you have all your
persuade is
pluses.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, so it's a -6 and a +4.
Right, so really just a -2.
So 11.
Yeah, so it's an 11.
It's an 11. Okay,
Still
which
pretty
is
persuasive.
a success with a raise. So everyone just sort of stops for a moment, and they kind of look at you, and they go, "Oh, right, yeah. I guess the man who was struggling just sort of stops, and the other two let him go." And he says, "Yeah, I guess the doc's coming, so this ain't terribly effective. We apologize."
Now look, all of you go to your houses and calm down. The doctor will handle Presley.
Yeah, most of us were, yeah, I was on my way home anyways. Evening to you all. And they just sort of like turn and start.
So everybody's dispersing?
They are
Mostly?
starting to, yeah. The two men who were restraining the man who came up and tried to take Presley are kind of lingering and just looking around and making sure that they're watching James Bogue.
Is the doctor going over to...
Yeah, so James is running up to meet you guys coming in. So you meet on the front porch of one of the businesses of Main Street, and the doc says, "All right, now what seems to be the problem? Here, lay him down right over here.
What is there anything else I can do, Doc?
Well, just lay him down, give him a little bit of space. All right.
He's breathing real shallow like.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll take a look at him.
Thank you, doctor.
All right. So he kind of leans down. He pulls out his spectacles and just sort of feels Presley's pulse and kind of does the same tests, a similar test that you did to make sure he's breathing. Will everyone make a notice roll for me?
Seven.
4.
4.
13.
13. Okay.
Wow.
So you both notice that there seems to be a lot of people coming out into the street as the day is sort of winding down and the sun is starting to set. People are walking out and they just seem to be sort of looking around searchingly outside. You notice that a couple of them have zeroed in on the doc looking over Presley's prone form, and with concerned looks on their faces, they seem to be heading your way.
Just while the doctor's looking at him and we're all kind of standing around, I'm going to go over to both of you and just say, something weird seems to be happening. There was someone breaking a window when I was coming this way and someone else that seemed to be trying to get into the hardware
Excuse me,
store.
is that little boy all right?
Yes, he's fine. There's no help needed.
Well, what's the doc doing over there?
The doc is just doing his job, and he does not need any assistance from any of you.
He doesn't need any. Okay, well, just give a shout if he does.
We will.
We'll be out here, and they kind of, they stop and they turn around and sort of stumble off. And the doc, meanwhile, is finishing up conducting his brief, real quick look over of Presley, and he says, well, this is a bit peculiar. Do any of you happen to know the situation in which this occurred?
All we know is that he collapsed.
Molly is actually still
I'm
back
gonna
down.
go get her.
Okay, she is actually sort of locked in a little bit of like it looks like she and that Ava woman are wrestling
As Rose leaves, I'm going to say, Rose, this might sound insane, but I would recommend that if you go to get Molly, do not make it clear that you need assistance of any sort.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I'll explain later.
All right.
Do you need any help?
No, she's fine, Bo. She is completely fine.
I think I can get it, James, but thank you.
right.
You said the boy's mother is nearby?
I'm just gonna go talk to her. I don't need any help.
All right. So Lark, the Doc Hollingsbeck, kind of looks up and kind of takes in the large amount of people who have started walking out into the street and are sort of just aimlessly milling around and says, something don't exactly feel right out here. Maybe we should take the boy inside somewhere.
Doctor, I think you are an astute judge of the situation at the moment. Now, I think we should proceed very calmly. There's no emergency going on here that we need to express.
Well, this boy could be in a pretty big amount of trouble.
But we do not want to create a panic with what has already created quite the large amount of people outside.
Well, of course, but it could be very time sensitive.
And talking about it right now is not helping.
He kind of.
So let's go to your office Immediately.
He seems to notice your tone a bit and looks around and sees a few people milling around in the crowd have kind of like looked over as you guys are exchanging heated words, and he says, all right, yeah, let's go to my office. Yeah, I'll take the boy. I'm right behind you. You know the way. So you guys start walking towards the office.
And I'll just kind of like turn on my heel a little bit and just look at everybody and just like, you know, make sure no one is trying to make a move towards the boy or anything.
Okay, no one is making a move, but a couple of them have split off from like pockets of crowd and are just sort of like kind of trailing in your general direction. Rosaline, you go over to Molly and Ava, who are just wrestling with each other. Ava has Molly almost in a headlock, and you can't even really make out what they're saying, but they're just sort of screeching at each other, and you hear Ava just sounds like she's just saying over and over again, just stop it, just stop it.
Ladies, stop.
They
you don't need to fight.
They kind of look up at you and then just go back to fighting, and Molly's trying to like rake her fingernails across Ava's face.
Try to get into, like, basically put a hand on each of their faces and just see if I can pull them apart.
Make a fighting roll for me.
Okay. I believe that is... Yes. 6.
You aced.
Yeah,
Yes,
ace it.
7.
7?
Aces.
Okay, they got a 1 and a 2. So you go over to just sort of like try and pry them apart, and they're resisting at first, but you just forcefully grab them by the face and literally just push them apart. And they kind of, once they're out of contact with each other, they sort of just calm down and glower at each other.
I want to get in between them and turning to Ava. You need to go home. This has nothing to do with you. This is her daughter or her son.
Well, I'm just... My business is my own. I'm just out in town trying to... I was going to meet up with a few friends.
Then you should go do that, right? Because this is not your business.
Well, I will.
Then do that.
Fine.
And then I want to turn around to Molly and say, Molly, we're taking your son to the doctor. All right? You come with me.
Okay, but you can't take him from me.
I'm not going to take him from you. You just need to come with me, all right? We need to know what happened.
Okay.
What happened? Can you tell me what happened?
Well, we were just walking, as I said, and I was holding Presley's hand.
We're walking towards the doctor.
Yeah, okay. He was being very quiet. He's been very quiet for a while now, and as I said, he just sort of collapsed. He fell to the ground, like his legs just gave out from underneath him, and it was like he was asleep and he wouldn't wake up.
So it was out of nowhere. He hadn't eaten anything unusual. How long had he been this way?
Well, I don't know. He was. We went to church this morning, and then we went home and had lunch, and we were just on an evening walk around town. He seemed fine, quiet, sure, but just dropped right in front of me, and I couldn't get him to wake up. Is he awake yet?
All right. I'm not sure. We're going to go to the doctor now, and you'll see him. All right?
Okay. So you guys are following. You're following them.
Yeah.
But you can see that they've picked up a couple trailing members of the crowd. So Gabriel is walking in the front, I'm guessing, with Doc right behind you, and you're both kind of looking around nervously. You can see that people are now beginning to follow you, and you are eyeing everyone down. They're not making any move to get much closer, but they are still kind of coming after you with just a look of general concern on their faces.
Okay. I'll
Thank you.
Thank you for the sub. Let them know in chat who you would like to give your piece of cursed Spanish gold to. Because if you sub or resub, you can give one of these fine players at the table a piece of cursed Spanish gold. So please let us know.
And as we mentioned earlier, that's quite a deal this month because...
September!
Yeah.
And it's good seeing you again. I haven't seen you in a long time, so thanks for coming by. So I'm gonna stand real quick, and I'm gonna stare everyone down and just be like, listen, as hereby declared deputy of this town of Coldwater Creek, I order you to step back. You are not assisting this situation right now. This boy is sick, and you need to step back.
It's like they're not even paying attention to you, and as you stand there and kind of stand your ground, and they start just walking closer, you can see it's like they're looking through you, just past you to the dock holding Presley. Okay. And as they get closer, they go, are you seeing? I think something might be wrong with that little boy.
So I'm coming up behind these people?
Yeah.
Okay. How close am I?
Well, you guys are moving pretty quick, and these guys are just sort of trailing the dock and Bogue and Prior. So you're probably about maybe 20, 30 feet away from them.
Well, I'm gonna head right for them, I suppose.
okay.
I mean, they're in my way, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're in between you and James, who you can see has planted himself and seems to be like
Well,
one hand on my gun.
as I get up there, I just want to kind of like walk right between them, like kind of push them aside and say, "Fellas, you should probably go home, shouldn't you?"
They just kind of turn and look at you, and it's like their eyes just sort of slide right off you, and
I'm
they
pretty
look
sure
back and they just keep walking.
Someone, and I just want to point behind them. Someone over there seemed to need some help.
They stop and they look at you and they say, "Oh, where? Who did?"
It was right around the corner. It was a Jesse somebody. See, it was calling for help. I'm not sure what was going on.
Jesse Severs?
Yep.
Jesse Severs needs help. All right, well we'll be right over there. And they just sort of like stop and just walk off around the corner. So you can see more people just sort of aimlessly milling about in the street, but you guys are now making it to Doc Hollingsbeck relatively unmolested. And you get there, and he kind of pulls Presley inside and pulls the door to, and he kind of looks out the window and then looks back at all of you and then shutters the windows and draws the bolt on the door. And he says, "All right, now listen, I don't know what any of that was, but this young boy needs to be attended to, so I'm going to take him back into, the operating room, but don't you worry, Miss Riddle. I don't think there's anything that needs to be operated on at this point. But I got to do a more thorough examination, so I need all of you to just stay out here while I just get a little bit of time to figure out what's going on."
I can assist you.
That's not necessary, Mr. Bogue. All right, I'd rather just do this in the...
I've done some field medicine.
James,
I think I can assist.
let the doctor do his job.
Make a spirit roll for me at a -4.
It's a 1.
Okay, you're pretty convinced you can help this guy.
James?
No, I think I can help.
James.
I've seen things like this before.
I think we need your help here, actually. Just in case anyone comes in, we need your help to protect Presley and the doctor.
Well, that might be true.
Yeah, Mr. Bogue, perhaps that would be a better use of your specific abilities.
It would be of great assistance to us. I'm not prepared to handle a mob.
Did you just pull your gun?
All right. All right. If anyone
James,
gets in
now.
here, I'll have, you know.
No, I'm not. Let's not jump to shooting people, James. They are just members of the town.
Well, I don't know. They had some pretty crazy looks on their face. You didn't quite see them as well as I do.
James, look at me. Get a hold of yourself, okay? You are better than all these people. This should not be affecting you.
So the doc is kind of just taking this little bit of distraction of Bogue to be his time to slip into the back room with Presley. Mm-hmm. As he goes, though, Rosaline, you notice that Molly stands up and goes right behind him, and he turns and says, Now, Molly, I need some space just to make sure Presley's all right." And she's like, I know, but I'm his mother. I can help.
Molly,
I can help.
Molly, why don't you help us here to make sure nobody comes in, all right? We need your help here.
But I have to make sure Presley's okay.
You're just going to get in his way, all right?
Presley is the most important thing in my life, and I have to make sure he's okay.
Which means you need to stay out of the doctor's way, don't you? If you want him to get better.
Make a persuade roll for me at a -6.
Oh my God.
But you have charisma, so you get to offset that by 2. So
By
it's
2.
just a -4.
Okay.
And you ace.
Yeah.
All right. So
9
7.
-4?
-4?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
no,
a 5.
11 minus.
Yeah, that was an
Yeah.
11.
It was an
-4 is a
11.
7.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a success. So she kind of just stops for a second and says, "Okay, yes, yeah, I will. I'll stay here and let the doc attend to Presley, and if you need my help with anything here, I'll be available." Astro Zombie Photography would like their piece of cursed Spanish gold for resubbing to go to Rosaline.
Oh, thank you
yeah.
very much. I will use this and cherish it forever. Okay.
So
Reverse that.
the doc goes into the back, and everyone just sort of like takes up seats in his sitting area up front, and just you all just sort of sit in the dim light and listen. And as you do, you start to hear. Well,
We're
everyone
doctor's office again, aren't we?
make a a notice roll for me.
Everyone?
Everyone make a notice roll.
Everybody. Ooh, oh no.
You know what? She'll make one too. That's an ace.
6.
6.
Gabe also got a 6.
6.
7.
7. And she got a 5. So all of you, as you're sitting in here a bit tensely, the clock on in the corner just ticking. That's really the only noise that you're hearing for a bit. And then you start to hear just the sound of more and more activity seemingly happening outside. Kind of growing in intensity, like the crowd is maybe taking a little bit of a nasty turn outside, but it's hard to tell.
All right. Look, both of you need to stay in here. James, the thing that could be most helpful right now is you staying in here and looking after the doctor and Rosie. I'm going to step out and address.
Wait, why do you, what's going on?
Look, I don't think there's time to explain what is going on right now, but let's just say that I have been kicked in the ass for trying to be a good person once in my goddamn life.
All right.
So let's all stay calm. And I'm going to try and mollify the situation.
You sure you don't need any help?
No.
You might need a...
I do not need any help. James.
All right.
All right, I'm going to try and step out the front door.
Okay.
I want to, I'll say, stay close to the door though, and I want to pull 2 of my throwing knives.
You're gonna pull 2 of your throwing
Hold
knives.
them. Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing, James?
Helping.
Yeah, helping a lot. So you told me that the most important thing is to stay here and what?
And protect Rose and the doctor. I need to...
Okay, so you have your gun out.
Yeah, and I'm like peering out windows and stuff like that, and just like basically just preparing.
Okay, peering out the window,
Yeah.
you see that as the sun has gone down, there now appear to be a lot of people in the streets. It's almost like everyone has come out of the buildings and places that they were in and into the main streets of town, and things. You do see a couple of windows getting smashed, which is technically vandalism.
Right.
Which would not be smiled upon in town limits, especially not by an officer of the law.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not helping anybody.
It's not. It's not.
Oh my God.
I mean, it might be good if I stopped. It looks like people might want to riot. If I'm going to protect you, it might be good to maybe stop them now.
Do I
before
hear
they
this?
get
Have I
too
gone
riled
out?
up.
I don't know. Are you thinking this to yourself, or are you saying it aloud?
I'm saying it aloud. Just.
He's probably saying this as you are opening the door. So as
In
you
that
do,
case, as I start to do that, I close the door, I turn around, I come over to Bogue, and I just want to smack him in the face.
oh,
God damn it, Bogue! You know that I'm full of shit.
hold on. Are you so? I'm gonna say Bogue's got a fighter's reflexes. So
Sure.
make a fighting roll.
Okay. Which I'm not particularly good at. I just got a D4. I got a 3, but you know what? I'm gonna use a fate chip.
Okay, you're gonna use a fate chip to
On
reroll
this.
that.
To
And
reroll?
because you have the Elon edge, you get to add a +2 to your.
So that's a 5, 6, 7.
What's your parry, James?
5.
Okay, so you're saying this, you know, it looks like they're rioting. Maybe it would be more helpful if I was outside, and that's the only reason that Gabriel comes over and takes you by surprise. Like a second too late, you see his hand coming in and just strikes you across the face. Please continue.
God damn it, Bogue!
What the hell?
You know I'm full of shit! You know that I'm a charlatan and a liar, and you should know better than to listen to any of the crap I spray in church.
What?
Some preacher, what do you mean?
It's not important right now.
Well,
Bogue,
what are
this
you
is
talking
between
about?
myself and Mr. Bogue right
Molly,
here.
why don't we go check on Presley real quick?
That would be best. There are certain things you need to say to mollify certain situations.
Sure, to make it better.
To make it better.
Right.
To help everyone.
You know the preacher's really good at that,
Sure.
Bogue,
right? Let's
listen
go
to me.
check on. I want to go.
Hold on. So you try and grab her while they're having their conversation. and she rears a hand back really quick.
Oh god.
What's your parry?
My parry is a
God.
7.
I'm gonna spend a piece of cursed Spanish gold to re-roll that.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so and she just kind of rears back and then just comes in to just slap you across the face, but you grab her arm, and she says, "Now listen, I am a liar and a charlatan.
Oh my God!
You need to calm down."
What are you
Yes,
doing?
wonderfully done. You did a great job. The situation is mollified there.
All right.
Now, why don't you do what would be most helpful right now and
And
create
help-
a situation of peace and quiet by sitting down and quietly singing a little song to yourself.
Make a persuade roll at a
Are you the purple man? What
at
the
a
hell
minus
is going
at a
on?
minus 4. Make a persuade roll at a -4.
Well, plus 4.
So it's just a
four.
0. It's just a 0.
So it's a.
Yeah, so it's still 3, though.
Okay.
We have cursed Spanish gold.
Yep, give me that curse.
All right.
All right.
Give me that
Spinning a piece.
There is a curse.
Spinning a piece of curse. Oh wait. Oh, well, I'll let you do that.
There you
It's a
go.
4.
That's a 4, so that's a success. And then also, real quick, because I forget to mention this sometimes, you guys do have a floating benefit that was donated for
Right, right.
from last season, the cursed Spanish amulet.
Yes.
That if at some point, if you choose, you guys can figuratively, metaphorically, snap that amulet in half to get a lucky break. Something will go absolutely and amazingly your way. However, if you choose to do that, at 2 points down the line, something will snap for your foes in a very lucky way. Just keep that in mind. Not saying you should use it now, just
Sure,
reminding you.
but we shouldn't forget that it exists.
Last episode, 10 minutes left. We snapped that.
And fuck you.
Listen to me. For some reason, when I tell people to do something in church, sometimes everybody fucking does it. I don't know what's going on.
And I slapped him.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, make a fighting roll.
All right.
Preacher, that's very stern language to be using in mixed company. An 8? Okay, and as she's saying that, you just smack the crap out of Gabe.
All right, I deserve that. He was doing that because I used bad language in mixed company,
Molly.
and it was completely justified.
Did that help?
That's what needs to happen when people use
No, just
inopportune
this one
words
time
in
when
mixed
it's a
company.
preacher and he is saying it in front of mixed company.
Of course,
Only in
preacher.
that situation,
That makes
Molly.
sense. That
I
makes
want
sense.
to take her hands and just try to go to the back. Come, Molly, let's go to the back. Let's check on Presley.
We can go help the doctor.
Yes. Well, we'll go.
All right, and she just walks into the back room.
I'll try.
God
All
damn
right.
it!
James V, thank you very much for the tip.
Oh,
Both.
thank you. Yes.
Bogue, you are smarter and you are better than this. And
Right,
you do not have to do anything that your brain is forcing you to do.
No, nothing's forcing me
All right,
to do
You know what?
anything. I mean,
It would be extremely helpful for me right now for you to put your gun away and sit quietly. I am going to address the angry mob that is outside of our hospital.
do you need me to...
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to try and step out.
Okay.
Into the front.
So you're gonna step outside. So you're in the back with Molly and the doc now, and you are sitting in the waiting room.
Yeah, he gave me a very vague thing of how to help, but
I mean, it was. It seems it makes sense considering
right now,
the circumstance.
I mean, I slapped him because that's what seemed to be the thing that...
He needed to be mollified.
Yeah.
Completely fair.
Everyone raise a glass
Oh.
before we continue on. This is a toast from James V. 1971. Just trying to be helpful, preacher. Just trying to be helpful, preacher. Set him up. Knock him down. Sorry. Thank you, James V.
Thank you.
Oh,
another beer.
and chat has unlocked a draw.
Oh.
So, well, here, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
There, now it can't come up Jordan again.
Aha.
James Bogue.
James.
Draw.
Could you give me the Funel also? Yeah.
All right. What card did you get?
Funnel card.
Photo card. How are we getting the same one?
What'd you get?
Shaking in their boots. I'm going to rip your head off and play in a combat situation. Your character does or says something so horrific and intimidating that it brings the area to a standstill. All other characters, friend or foe, are shaken.
Oh my God.
Just automatically shaken.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just gonna step out in the middle of the crowd and shake everyone.
So,
just
Oh my God!
might.
This would be an amazing, amazing time to have that charisma card.
Oh yeah.
it
yeah,
would be, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? So you're going into the back room. Molly is ahead of you, and the doc is back there, and it looks like he's opened Presley's shirt, and he's just sort of like feeling around on his chest for what you're not sure. But Molly kind of goes back and she says, Doc, I think I remember now. I saw you one time. You remember that boy got pulled from the river, and he's saying, Molly, what are you doing back here? I need some space. No, that boy got pulled from the river,
Molly.
and I saw you. You got the water out of his lungs, and maybe something's wrong with Presley's lungs.
Molly,
so I'm just gonna try
Molly,
that.
I need your help right here.
And she goes over and just starts elbowing Hollingsbeck out of the way. So let's see. I'm gonna roll. He's the blue one. She goes over and just tries to. You know what? I'm gonna spend a piece of cursed Spanish gold on that to re-roll hers. 5 versus a 4. So she goes over and just sort of like shoves him out of the way, and she takes her hands and puts them down on Presley's chest
Nope.
and just starts
No,
like
no,
pushing
no,
down
no.
on his
Okay,
chest.
I'm gonna go and like try and can I like I just want to grab her. I
Make a
literally
fighting
want to
roll.
Grab her. Okay.
Jordan.
Yes.
Your microphone.
8.
Hold on. Mic troubles.
Mic troubles.
Yum.
What's it?
Yum.
It was just like collapsing kind of back.
Oh, I don't want it to do that.
No.
Someone tied it in a weird way. It's got a weird tie on it. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this.
Oh, it's in like
All
a
right.
knot.
So you're trying to do what?
I'm just like I basically reasoning with her doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I literally
correct.
just want to like bear hug her and pull her.
Okay, so you made a
away.
fighting roll?
Yes.
Okay, what is your fighting roll?
I got an 8. I
You got
think
an
is
8.
What I said. Yes. an 8.
Ace.
Stab it.
She got a 7. Okay, so you are actually able to go over and just grab her from behind and lock her arms to her side and just kind of hold her. Now she's struggling against you. What are you doing? I'm trying to help my son.
You're not helping. You're making it worse. You might kill him if you
You
keep
are
going.
keeping me from keeping
Do you
him
want
alive.
to kill your own son?
I am trying to keep him alive.
You're
And
not gonna do
The
it.
doc comes over and just gets right in front of Molly and says, now, Molly, now I need you to look at me, okay? Now look at me right now. I am doing everything I can for your little boy, all right? Now, I went to medical school. I know what it is that I'm doing. I am an expert. Now, what I need you to do is please, Molly, just go out into the waiting room and give me a chance to see what's wrong with your boy. I will let you know if you can help, but you cannot help right now, all right? And you're still holding her?
I'm still holding her.
She starts to just sort of slow down a bit, and she looks at the doc and says, all right, doc. And just kind of, her arms just sort of collapse to her side, and she's not struggling against you anymore.
Molly, let's go back towards the front. All right.
I've moved on to the wrong track. Hold on.
Oh, I thought it sounded different.
It's
That's
supposed to be
creepy.
repeating. There we go. So she kind of comes with you with no complaints. Just back out into the waiting room.
Well, as we come to the door of the waiting room, I just want to kind of before we go back out there, peek my head out and like see what is being talked about now.
Okay.
Before bringing Molly back out.
So you just see James sitting down, and you see Gabriel has opened the front door and walked outside. Now, Gabriel, you walk outside, and there are people everywhere out here. And just as you suspected and you heard from inside, it does look like some of them are breaking windows. Some of them are fighting in the street. Some of them are trying to take things off of other people's person, shirts, clothes, shoes. There's just this sort of swirling mass of chaos in the streets that seems to be increasing by the minute. What is it that you wanted to try and do?
Okay, Gabe wants to go out and just start in his most loud preacher sermon voice, try and get everyone's attention.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, good Christians of Coldwater Creek, I am so heartened to see the spirit of helpfulness in each and every one of you.
Make a persuade roll for me.
Okay.
At a -6, so just a -2 for you, to just see if you can get their attention
their
with that impassioned plea. It's a 3 and a
That's
1.
a 3. But is it?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Okay.
This is a regs reroll.
But you
Not
get to add a
added
+2 to
D6.
it.
Yeah. That's a 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
So that's at a -2, right?
No, because you got a +2, so it's just a straight 7.
Just a straight 7. Okay, so that's a success.
Yes.
Because you were at an effective -2.
That's right. I was at an effective -2, and now I'm Regs as a guard.
So you kind of cry that out using your best orator's voice. And at first your voice kind of, you choke in your throat a bit, but you clear your throat and just very sonorously you cry that out. And the crowd sort of, all of a sudden they just sort of like stop and they turn and look at you.
Now, each and every one of you has done wonderfully going around and helping your neighbors, like I have said was so important. But there's something else that we cannot forget that is important in the service of God. And that is your own private meditation and prayer. And I think that what could help everyone in town, every single person, is to let God know that Coldwater Creek cares about him and spend the next hour in quiet prayer and meditation in your own homes.
So they all just kind of look at you for a moment. And you can hear distant murmurs of crowds and people as well, the people that aren't near enough by to be affected by what you're saying. And one of them just sort of like looks up at you and says, so go out and do something that helps your neighbor, whoever it may be. And you hear that echoed a couple times by other people in the crowd. And then you hear someone go, hey! And everyone kind of stops and looks over. And a man that is unfamiliar to you, not someone that you know, but that's not entirely unheard of because your church is packed every Sunday for sermon. There's some people standing out front even. He looks like a rough, like very large, scraggly beard, just kind of like a broad guy. He comes walking up into the middle of the crowd. He doesn't seem to be looking at you. He's looking at another man that's just kind of acting like me. And he comes up, he's like, yeah, now listen, my brother is missing an arm and you got 2. So the way I see it is you gotta help. And he grabs the guy by the arm and grabs him by the other arm. And as you watch, he starts to just pull. And you hear a sick popping sound as the man starts screaming.
Stop it!
And he's not listening to you, and he just keeps pulling. And
do not covet thy neighbor's arm!
You watch him in front of you literally pull this man's arm out of its socket so it falls dead at his side, and then continue to just yank at it. And you can hear him screaming, and the sounds that it's making are nauseating. Will you make a guts roll for me, please, Gabriel Prior?
Jesus.
Did I hear him say any of this?
You did hear him say all of that, actually. He said it very loud.
Oh, I hate that.
God. All right.
Now, okay, this guts roll is going to be modified by a -3.
All right, well, I got an 8.
Okay, you got an 8.
And I get to add my grit to that, which is a 1, so...
Actually, your grits are your grit all went up by 1, everybody, because you're seasoned now, so your grit should all be up by 1.
Okay. We're so greedy.
You gained a little more grit.
3 grit.
So you succeeded.
Yes, I did.
Which is good because as you watch, he finishes just pulling this man's arm off of his torso. And the man just collapses to the ground, just sort of in shock as he's just bleeding profusely from the side of his arm and just collapses down. And the man who pulled his arm just kind of looks at it and nods and turns and starts walking back. And everyone in the crowd just erupts when that happens. And they all just start looking at each other, and then it's like they're just falling on top of each other, just like scratching and clawing and punching and biting.
Gabe just like goes nuts yelling at the crowd. Stop it! Stop it! All of you!
They're not even listening to you. And you can hear gunshots from down the street.
Do I see this happening?
You didn't see that happening outside, but you hear something awful happening outside. You see gunshots down the street, and way at the other end of the street, you see what looks like the marshal and his 2 deputies, just like with their guns out, like sort of trained on the crowd, but it's like they're at a loss. They're just kind of trying to like stick together in a tight group and make it through all of the gathered people in the crowd.
I want to pull a deck of cards out of my pocket and kind of like turn towards the window away from everybody in the room and try and cast fear on the crowd.
Okay, so you're gonna try and look out the window, but keep it hidden from Molly?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, Molly's gonna know a lot about us by the end of this.
No.
Molly's gonna make a notice roll. But no, hold on, she's gonna be at a -2 because you're, well, actually make a stealth roll for me. Make a stealth roll for me.
Oh, this is a fucking disaster.
5? Okay. Okay, she does not see what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're going to try and cast fear.
Yes.
Okay, so spend your points. Are you using points or are you making a deal?
No, I'm going to use points.
Okay, spend your points and make your roll.
Okay. Oof, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a success.
Yes.
Wait, which one's your spellcasting die? Okay, cool. Because if you had rolled a 1 on your spellcasting die, you would have gotten backlash.
So here is a large burst.
So we don't have miniatures out for this, so a large burst is going to affect a lot of the assembled crowd in front of Gabriel.
I assume like we're yeah. Like,
Yeah, and I guess Gabe right now is like out on.
like we're in this.
Sure, yeah, we'll pretend that's
I'm
the
not
building you
actually
guys
on
are
the
in.
awning. I'm
Yeah.
standing under.
Actually, sure. Let's actually use that as the building you guys are in.
Okay.
So you can take the roof off of it if you want, and we'll utilize that. You just built that today.
Woo! Look at these buildings.
And Dom helped. Okay, so you're in there. Let's put here. We'll
Dom's good at helping.
What camera are we on? Oh. Like,
We'll throw Molly in there. Okay, and then sure, we'll put the dock in the back room. Why not? Okay, so Gabe is out on the front porch, and you're over by the window, kind of obscuring your spectral deck of cards that kind of fans to life in your hands as you start focusing while you look at the cards.
See here, my miniature.
And then from the air above the assembled people who are just a roiling mass of anger and violence right now, you hear this cackling sound that just kind of drops out of the blackened sky, and a huge jester face just kind of slams down into the sky above them and starts screeching at them all. What do they have to roll to resist this?
It's agility. Agility.
Agility? It's not spirit?
Let me double check that in here, but I have it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was looking for one. Guts or wait, hold on. Let me look in here to be sure. Make every creature beneath the template must make a guts check.
Guts check. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. They rolled a 3. So they failed. So all of a sudden, this giant screeching jester face comes down, and they all like stop and cower and like duck and cover, and they just start screaming and scatter in all these different directions, which allows the marshal a chance to sort of break through the crowd. He sees you up on the porch and zeroes in on you and hold on, Marshal, here,
Marshal.
and says, Prior, preacher, what? Are you all right?
We're fine, but we have to try and calm this crowd
All right,
down
boys,
somehow.
this way. Listen, you got room in that building?
Yes.
All right, get inside, boys, get inside. So his 2 deputies just go right past you into the doctor's office. And there's the crowd. These people have dispersed and are running around, but you can see from behind the marshal new, fresh people coming around the corner and heading this direction that are meeting the people that are running away. And you can't tell what's happening, but it looks like there's some shoving and jostling going on. He says, "We better get in there right now, preacher. All right, come on in.
You get inside. I still think that there might be a chance that we can calm these people down.
Preacher, if you stay out here for much longer, you're going to get torn limb from limb. Now, you get inside here and we will figure out a plan." And he opens the door and just gestures angrily for you to get inside.
God damn it. All right.
All right, so that violent turn for the worse is thanks to chat unlocking the Helpening.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat.
Thank you, chat.
You're welcome.
Thanks for unlocking
Jesus.
that.
So don't pull people's arms off.
Now, what in the hell is going on out there, preacher? Now, are you in some way responsible for this?
No, how can I be responsible for this?
Well, that would be something I would relish knowing.
Yes, I'm sure you would love to find a way to pin this on me, but the important thing right now is that we have a boy who has collapsed in the other room, and we have a town of people who are ripping each other's arms off trying to help.
Now that is, wait, what?
If you tell anyone that they are trying to help anyone, they will do whatever it is to make that happen.
Well, that don't seem all that bad.
Well, it
That
certainly
don't
does
equate to
when-
what I'm seeing outside.
Look, people have been rather loose in their interpretation of help.
All right, listen. Hector, Avery, you both position yourself by these windows and keep an eye out. If anybody starts getting over close near here, I want you to let me know. Now, what are you all? You said something about a boy collapsing. Now, I feel for you, whoever it is.
but we got bigger problems out here than one boy collapsing. We got to figure out what we can do to stop these people from acting this way. Now, does
Marshal,
anyone else...
you are showing up and stating things that have been very clear to all of us for quite some time.
Oh, I'm sorry, preacher.
Now, what is it you want us to do about this?
I don't know. This ain't exactly a situation that I have encountered before.
Well, I sure am glad that you wandered in here to help.
Well, what is your plan, preacher?
My plan is to try and talk them out of it.
And how was that working before we
I
came along?
just started.
And how was it going?
Not well so far. What's your plan?
Saw a lot of blood out on the street
Can
there.
we put the testosterone away, maybe, and try and figure out how to help these
What
people?
the hell is testosterone?
I don't know. Do you
Ask
know
the
that
doctor.
I ain't colloquially aware of stuff like that.
What is colloquial?
yet? Let's get a dictionary. And...
Yeah.
Get one down there off that shelf.
You got
Marshal.
All right, no.
Marshal, it does not take an astute reader of human character to realize that we do not have quite a fondness for each other, but now is not the time to bicker. Now, if you have a plan as to how we ought to fix this situation, I am all ears, but otherwise I think I need to be back out there trying to talk some sense into these people who have lost their minds.
Preacher, I swear to God, I just told you I don't have a plan, but what we need to do is formulate one, because if you just go out there and try and talk, you're about to get ripped limb from limb. Now, much as I would relish the thought of that, as a marshal of this town, I don't see it as something that I can rightly allow.
So, Marshall, all you're doing is saying that his plan is a bad idea, but you're not offering something else.
Do you all support the preacher's plan that he should just go out and shout things to that violent mass of
Have you
people?
seen the preacher do that?
I'm pretty good at it.
I have. But somehow I don't think that everyone outside is liable to be responding rationally to anything right now. Now, prove me wrong, preacher. Walk right out there and fix this mess.
I do have an idea. I want to get a clue.
Okay. You want to get a clue?
An idea of how to solve this problem.
Okay. So an idea of how to solve this problem.
Right.
You think back over all of the times that people have responded strangely to the things that you've asked of them.
Right. Because I have no idea how it works. I'm just like trying to figure it out.
You remember, everyone cutting their hands and rubbing blood over their doorway. You remember a man spilling the blood of someone in the street when you rode into town after something you guys were investigating, and loudly telling you that this was for you, just like you had asked.
Yeah.
You remember people gathering around Zachary Driscoll at a table in the back of the Saddle Burr and forcing him to hand over his ill-gotten poker gains to you so they could go to the church. You remember everyone filling the collection plate at the church with more than you supposed they had, but assumed that perhaps they were just living under their means as good, responsible Christian frontier folk. And then you remember that all of these things were a result of things that you said in the church.
All right. Here's my plan. Everyone here wants to be helpful to a completely insane level. Now, I think that perhaps getting them somewhere that we can control, that we can manage them, would be the best first step here. Now, if we can corral these people to the church, then perhaps I would be able to talk some sense into them. We have shown time and time again that the people of Coldwater Creek are a devout bunch. And I know for a fact that a great many of the people who are out on these streets are members of the congregation. So perhaps in the house of God, with the word of the Lord, telling them to cease what it is they are doing, we could make a little bit of a dent in the problem here.
Now, preacher, I don't mean to impugn any of your religious know-how, but are you telling me your plan is to get the entire town of Coldwater Creek up to the church so you can politely ask them to stop?
You sure are good at trying to find problems with my plans instead of coming up with anything yourself.
Well, I suppose if you think it's worth trying.
I do.
I ain't got any other ideas that are
Bogue,
bubbling up to mind.
It would be very helpful if you did everything you could to try and get as many people non-violently to the church.
Now, Bogue, before Gabriel says that, you're feeling a lot of tension in the room between these two. There's a lot of irritation. There's a lot of mounting, like, just angry energy in the room, and you're thinking of something that you could do to just sort of like ease the situation and make it a little bit better. It seems like the preacher and the marshal are just ready to leap at each other's throats, and you're not entirely sure how to stop it, but maybe you're not. Do you have an idea of what you could do to just sort of diffuse this and just kind of just let everyone be friends and be peaceful?
No, not really.
I mean, it strikes you that if one of these people were to be removed from the situation or the conversation, that might diffuse the situation here.
I was trying not to go there.
I made you make a spirit roll already.
Okay.
But I had you make it at a -4, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Make another spirit roll at a -2 for me.
Well, that's a 1.
Okay. You know the preacher's your friend, but the marshal has always been kind of a jerk to you, and you want to help your friend out. So it seems like if you, I don't know, were able to just get rid of the marshal, it might make this situation a lot better. It would just remove the element that's causing so much tension.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
You know, earlier today, somebody did say they wanted to see the marshal. What was it? Me.
They wanted to see you.
Me attack the
Megan.
marshal.
Megan attacked the marshal.
But instead, it's going to be James. I think maybe. I don't know. It feels like.
Well, no, I didn't say attack. You just think that it would be best if you got him out of the situation in some way.
Where is he standing?
Well, they are in the middle of the room, of the waiting room, just kind of like nose and nose almost, just in each other's business. And you're over here, I believe. So and that will make Molly the marshal there. The marshal has got a real frilly dress on. He's right over there with
looking mighty
with
good.
Gabriel. Oh, here. It's going to get crowded in there, but there. This is the marshal. And he's up.
Looking mighty good.
Up in Gabe's business there.
Good golly, Miss Marshall.
Well, I would like to grab him by the collar and throw him out the window.
Okay. So Hector and Avery are standing by each window.
Tort.
Yes.
And you're just going to try and throw him out the glass of the window past either Hector or Avery?
I'm not thinking super straight.
Okay, so as you turn to tell James what would be very helpful, you see him already kind of hitching his pants up and just walking over directly to Marshal Hurless.
You talk too much.
Make a fighting roll for me.
Okay.
It's a 4. 4?
Wow.
Marshall got a 10.
Okay.
So you go over and just kind of grab him by the scruff of the neck, just by the back of the shirt and by the back of his pants, like you're going to hoist him up off the ground. And he turns much quicker than you would have anticipated him being able to, and just whaps your hands out of the way and says, "Bo, what in the hell are you doing?"
You talk too much, Marshal. Apparently he is trying, my friend here, the preacher, is trying to help, and you are just obstructing everything.
Bogue! What would be far more helpful right now than trying to lay hands
I understand.
on the
I will take him out of your
Hold on. How long's he been acting like this?
A little while, Marshal. We can control him.
He don't look like he can be controlled. Look at them out there. You think you can control them?
Bogue, what will be most helpful right now is to non-violently get as many people as we can into the church. Do you understand?
Marshal?
No.
Would you please go to the church?
Marshal, now listen. If you expect this plan of yours to work, you can't have any elements of it that you can afford to just have running loose. We got to get Bogue and get him subdued somewhere in the back room so he can't make these things worse.
You trying to subdue Bogue will only make things worse. I have seen this man in action.
You don't want to do
And
that.
he is far better at everything than you.
And he looks over at you, and just his face reddens when you say that, but he just kind of jerks his head over to another corner of the room, inviting you to follow him over there. Do you?
Yes.
And do you think that it would be a good idea to have him out there, a man of his talents, as you so eloquently put it, just able to turn on a dime and do whatever it is he thinks would be most helpful in any given moment? What if he thinks that he needs to start helping the crowd get away from you? What if he thinks that you're in some way endangering the crowd by trying to get him into the church? And
how is it, Marshall, that you think we can restrain this man? Do you think that you'll be able to get him down?
Listen, I got a pair of handcuffs on me, all right? I can just cuff him to something in the doc's back room. All right, now listen, I know he's your friend, and I know he's a capable man, but we can't afford to have him just decide that it would be best to turn on us at a moment's notice.
God damn it.
If this fool plan of yours is even gonna work, which I still don't think
Marshall,
that it will.
Shut the fuck up.
Molly, over in the corner, comes right up to you. She makes a fighting roll. Oh, that's a ace.
I'm just gonna.
That's a 6. What's your parry?
My parry is a 4.
All right, so she just comes up and just smacks you right across the face and says,
"Well done, Molly. That was very well
language.
done." Exactly.
You are in mixed company, preacher.
That is exactly the situation. Well, that is proper, Molly. Now go back to helping out by sitting down over there.
So she kind of nods curtly and goes over, and everyone make a notice roll for me. We'll have the marshal make one too.
Nice.
He got a 2.
Oh,
I got a
God.
10.
I crit failed this.
Oh boy, yeah.
You crit failed? Yeah. Okay. And you got
I got a 5.
a 5 and a 10?
I got a 10.
Okay. So you guys suddenly just notice that everything has gone a little quiet outside. You are trying to take Molly back over to her seat. Mm-hmm. And she just turns real suddenly, way quicker than you expected her to. And she just whaps you across the side of the face as well, but she strikes you right against your ear, and you feel a sharp pain from the impact deep inside your inner ear, and you hear a ringing in your ear. You're going to suffer a -1 to all hearing-based checks for the rest of the session. She seems to have just really, forced a dagger of air into your eardrum, and suddenly your head is just ringing. But you guys notice it's gotten really quiet. And you just both kind of freeze, and the marshal's like, "What? We got this lady, people slapping each. What is going?
Marshall,
what are you?"
Shut up for a moment. Just be quiet.
What? And Hector and Avery, both over at the windows, just sort of turn back and they say, "Marshall, what is it, you two?" And he walks over to the window and looks out, and you see him kind of just step back. And he turns back and says, "Preacher, you reckon we were being a mite loud just then?"
Son of a bitch.
Because they're all just standing out there just staring at the front of this building.
All right. Leave this to me for a moment. I'm going to take one more chance at trying to talk to them.
They're getting closer now. And the marshal goes back over and looks out the window and he says, "Preacher, I don't think you want to be doing that right now. Everyone turn the lights off in here. Turn the lights off in here.
Is there
right now, dim those lamps. Everyone close these blinds up." And it is are you guys going to try and help dim the lights?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you're definitely gonna, because that would be really helpful. So you start dimming the lights. And all of a sudden, as the marshal just kind of just motions for everyone to be quiet and get down, and you start to hear someone just sort of like just kind of hitting their hands against the outside of the wall out front. And then more people start doing it until it feels like the entire assembled crowd outside is now just sort of like up against the walls of the office, and you can see the door starting to rattle in its frame.
Is there a back door here? Does anyone know?
All right, I'm trying to think. I think there might be one. First of all, we should get back into the back room, but we should be quiet as possible. Hector, Avery, you get away from that window right now, okay? All right, just...
The doctor will know if there's another way out of this building or cellar or anything like that. So let's get to him.
Maybe if we could just be real quiet, no one will notice anything, and maybe they'll lose interest and just go away. All right? So I'm just gonna go into the back room with the doc. Hector, Avery, come with me. I recommend you all do the same.
Want me to try and disperse them, non-violently like?
James,
I need your help here.
you're a man of the law, and it would be very helpful right now for you to follow the law and listen to those who you are under in rank.
Yes, that's right. Bogue, you are a deputy of the law, which makes me your superior. So it would be very helpful if I were to order you to come back here. Am I doing this right? I don't know.
Just keep going,
And you were to
Marshal.
listen to my orders, because that's what helpful.
It would be a
helpful
wonderful
deputy
way
would do.
to help your neighbor. The Marshal is one of your neighbors, and he needs your help through obedience.
Yes, that's right.
He's never helped you before, though.
Well, now is a great time to start.
Sure.
Marshal, aren't you helping me right now as we speak?
Preacher, we ain't got time for this. You can see the
Marshal?
door is starting to really
Are you
shake.
helping me right now or not?
Yes, preacher, I
He is
am.
helping
We are helpful friends.
Well, why don't you non-violently go into the back room?
Wow, that is a wonderful idea.
All right.
James.
And I'll see that everyone else non-violently follows us in. Yeah?
Nope, I think they are enjoying their time outside.
Yeah,
They
let's
seem pretty violent.
Let's keep it quiet, and let's just all go into the back room, and then we can figure out what to do from there.
Yeah.
Is someone's cell phone talking?
I think it's a track.
Is it really the track?
Yeah, there's like a weird
Okay.
it's like a storm warning thing.
It was like an Amber Alert.
Flash flood warning for the following counties.
Okay, great. Everyone pretend that this is a period-specific track.
Somebody is yelling it just outside, begging. There's a flash flood warning.
They're being very helpful.
That was just a warning klaxon from outside. I'm just going to turn this down a bit. You guys are going into the back room?
Yeah.
Can't hear this as much now anymore.
Oh.
Um,
I think there's a flash flood warning going on.
So when we get in the back room,
the doc turns and says, "What in the hell is going on
Doctor.
now? What is the marshal doing here?"
the Marshal is here because the entire town is going a little zany at the moment. I think, is there a way out of your building through the back or cellar or some way that we could get out of?
Well, sure. I got a back door just right around the corner back here, where past the supply room. Do we need to vacate the premises?
I think that might not be a terrible idea.
Well, where is it that we're gonna go?
To the church, right?
The church is the safest place right now.
How is
The
Presley?
church is all the way on the other side of the whole main street area and up the hill. Now the boy's gonna be. I can't rightly tell what's going on with him, but he's in a bit of a fragile state right now. I can't just take him up and just hope that we can get him safely across over to the church.
All
What
right.
in the hell is going on out
In
there?
that case, I think you need to keep the boy here, and we can draw this crowd away from this building.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
might be better.
If we go outside and make our way to the church, perhaps this mob will follow us. We can get them to the church and deal with the situation there.
We should probably leave one of these deputies here with the doctor just in case, right?
Sure. Why don't we leave Hector? He's more capable. Hector, you stay here with the doc, and you just keep him and this boy safe. All right. Now keep it quiet as well. And Molly pipes up and says, "No, I'll stay too. I can help.
Molly, I
can
think
help."
we'll need your help with everyone else to protect your boy.
Marshal,
But Presley is the most important
Right,
person to
and
me.
this is how you're
Marshall.
going to protect him.
Marshal,
Yes.
why don't you lead Molly into the next room and make sure that she is being as helpful as she can by not leaving whatever chair it is you would like to handcuff her to.
In the front room with
It does
those
not.
animals trying to break down the door.
We will just not a room that is right here. She is.
Well, I don't see
a
many
similar
other rooms.
problem.
There's this room and there's the one that
All right,
they're gonna.
all right, Marshal, handcuff her to something.
What? All right. And he just kind of whips out a pair of cuffs and just snaps one around her wrist and just sort of like chains the other one to a pole in the back of the doctor's office on a steel table. Marshall, what are you doing? I have to help.
Molly, this is for everyone's good. We need you here to demonstrate the way the people should properly act in such a situation.
No, you have to let me help. You can't keep me here. And she starts to get real loud as she starts getting
all right. Calm down,
You
Molly.
can't keep me here. I have to be able to help my boy. I have to be able to help my boy.
If you're too loud, you can't help your boy if you're too loud.
I go, sorry, ma'am, and I slap her.
Okay, make a fighting roll.
She's not helping you.
The slapping thing. You don't slap so good.
I don't slap so good, but
Try and slap again.
try and slap again.
When at first you don't slap, slap again.
It's a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just slap her right across the face, and she. Well, I suppose I did need to be mollified.
That's what the preacher wanted, so I thought you'd want it too.
All right. Yes, I'll stay here. At least I can keep an eye on the president.
All right. Now look, I think all of us were.
I kind of look over at Vogue because, as much as I dislike the Marshal, he makes a pretty good point about him not being a particularly reliable person right now.
Bogue, what would be extremely helpful to me right now is that I need to go to the church, and if you could go there and prepare the church for plenty of people to be there, that would be extremely important and very, very helpful.
You might need protection, though. There's a lot of angry people out there, it seems. I might need to...
Make a spirit roll for me. No negative. Just a spirit roll.
7.
7. And I'll also take this time to remind those of you watching in chat, you mysterious strangers out there, if you choose to tip, we can keep unlocking more reward tiers that we have going. I believe we're pretty close to the next one, which should be a lot of fun, the next reward tier. So
this is like hey, I really want this to happen.
Just keep that in mind.
Chat, it would be very helpful right now.
Oh, does it work like that?
So, you rolled a 7?
Yep.
Okay. All of a sudden, what Gabriel is saying to you just kind of seems to cut through a fog that you weren't even aware was present. And you suddenly just snap fully back to yourself.
What the hell is going on here? Why are we here?
You have a vague awareness of what's been going on, but you don't really remember your actions or the chain of events that got you here specifically.
Well, what I'm saying is it would be very helpful if, without hurting anybody, you were to make your way to the church.
Why would I hurt anybody? I just want to know why is everyone so riled up out there?
Bogue,
Marshall,
what's your game here?
no game at all. I think the game is what the hell is going on out
Bogue,
there.
it would be very helpful if you told me that I was a great marshal and you respected me a lot.
Like hell, I'm going to say that.
I think he's all right.
Dear God. Oh my God. That is a serious relief.
Yes. James, what was going on?
Yeah, it hurts my feelings, but I think he's okay.
Look, there's no need to interrogate James. Obviously, something has taken this entire town. Bogue, we are good that you are back in your right mind and not hoping to be helpful in a crazy way, because we need you.
What?
Clearly, the entire town has gone crazy, and we need to get everyone to the church if we can, and get them away from this hospital so Presley can be dealt with properly. We can rely on you now, I assume.
Of course, you could always rely on me.
Good. All right.
He's 2 Cokes Bogue. You can
Two
always
Cokes
count on
Bogue.
2 Cokes Bogue.
I've only had one.
The night is young, Bogue.
I'll get there.
All right. Marshall.
I can't have my other until we unlock the next tier.
What?
Marshall.
What?
I think it is time for us to try and move out of here and try and draw the crowd away.
All right, we'll take Avery What specifically is your plan, preacher?
My plan is to get everyone into the church.
Of course, I understand that, but how exactly do you propose to do that?
Suggest to them that there are repairs that need to be made on the church. That we have had problems with the pews breaking down, and it is the duty of every God-fearing citizen of Coldwater to help repair and aid the reconstruction of Coldwater's
All right,
House
sure,
of
whatever.
God.
You know you can be very long-winded, right? Let's just go out and
Trust
just
me,
tell them what it
I'm
is,
aware.
and let's just see if we can get this plan of yours in action.
Maybe we should try to go around them and come back at them from the church, right? And then we can draw them in.
I think that's a very good idea.
Miss Byrne, that's the first damn sensible thing anyone has said here tonight.
Thank you, I think.
All right. What do you need from me and my deputy?
I think we all just need to go together, try and avoid being seen, because if we start drawing them over here, it's not going to help very
Marshall,
much.
you ever run cattle?
Well, my uncle owned the ranch, and I used to help him out a bit when I was a boy.
I like the way you're thinking, bro.
Well, once he gets going, we might need to be directing people, as it were, and shuffling them in a certain way.
There are going to be stragglers, people who did not get the initial message. And it might be useful to have men who have certain authority of the law.
You think they'll respond to that?
I think if you tell them it is being helpful, they will do whatever it is.
I don't know. I saw one or two mighty disturbing things on the way over here, but I suppose if this is our only chance, then we'll
Yes,
have to give it a try.
Let's do it. Everyone ready?
All right. Now, and then the doc speaks up. Now, I'm to stay here with this deputy and just continue to try and care for this boy.
Yes.
Doctor, just do whatever you can to save Presley.
All right. Now, I very much hope that this plan of yours works and you can pull those people away from here, because I don't much favor our odds of survival, especially this boy's, if those people were to decide to come in here.
Doctor, if you think you could transport Presley to the church,
I don't think I can. Not safely. I still don't know what it is exactly that ails him.
then I think this is our only chance.
Well, good luck to you then,
We'll be back.
Miss Byrne.
Good luck to you too, Doc.
All right, so you guys are going to go out the back door?
Mm-hmm.
And then, all right, so show me, we can take this, well, we'll just use this to represent the mass of people outside.
Okay.
So you guys, show me where everyone's going to go.
So, I mean, we'll see the back
I'm
doors
gesturing
here.
with a mustache. Show me on the mustache where you guys are going to go.
Show me the mustache where you touched it. Right here. I don't have a mustache anymore. No!
Molly's staying there with the doc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some other dude, but
So
yeah.
use the doc's miniature to be the deputy that's with the marshal.
Okay.
Is this the dot?
Oh.
No, that's the marshal.
Well, there's
It's
a-
getting very confusing.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, my assumption is they're all right here by the door. Mostly.
They are. So you guys have noticed since the lights were dim and since you guys got quieter, they kind of seem to have lost interest as much in the door, so you can't hear them pounding on the front door as much.
Okay, and then I assume just like this, there's sort of like alleyways and then.
Yeah,
more
yeah,
buildings.
just as pictured.
Okay, so yeah, basically, this is probably the most dangerous area in which we just want to try to. I'm hoping they'll be distracted enough to not notice us.
So which direction is the church?
So the church is the direction the church
right,
actually
right.
is on the
There's a church
table.
there,
It's
right.
just very far
That's where
that
the
way.
church is.
Yep.
It's that way outside of the main street area a bit and then up a hill.
Are there trees, brush, like any kinds of things we can use?
Not so much in the town area. A lot of that's been cleared.
All we really need to do is get around here.
You guys also notice that Doc James V's giant air carriage has lifted off, and you can see it just sort of like hovering in the air over like way towards the outskirts of town, as though maybe he has just kind of removed himself a bit for
Probably
safety.
like a quietly sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly.
Yeah, I think we should probably go like maybe one at a time just to avoid being seen.
So,
I agree.
marshal or a deputy, we should maybe go around the other side.
With you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And you
we've
guys
got,
can corral if you
Yeah.
we've got Alpha Team here.
Yes.
The Marshal, James Bogue, and Avery, the deputy.
Probably let you go first since it's more important to get up there.
And then Bravo Team here,
Yeah.
Gabriel and Rosaline. Okay, so you guys are going to wait for him to move first, and then you'll kind of come out into the back to start corralling people that way?
Yeah.
Okay, But you guys first are trying to get over there far enough away from the crowd that you can make your announcement without necessarily being in close physical proximity.
Exactly.
Yeah, get them to follow us to the church.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, make a stealth roll to move behind that other building there.
All right. Both of us do, right?
Yeah, but you're going first, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start with you.
All right.
Oh my. Those are
So
twos.
Oh, twos. Yeah, twos, that's not going to cut it.
that's 2s and 2s. However,
You
I'm
do
gonna,
get, we'll give you a +1 because it is dark. It is like twilighty
yeah,
outside.
but I'm going to add a d6 to that.
Okay.
Ha, notice, chat, I'm using a white chip to add a d6.
What?
That's crazy.
You
You
must
can't do that, can you?
You must have taken the fate's favored edge.
That's what I did. I get to use one chip as a blue chip,
That's
even
the
when
one.
it ain't. So I'm adding a d6, and because I have Elan, I actually get +2 to that. So that is
Another 2.
is another 2,
Rolling all twos.
but it gets +2. So that
6.
all together is a 6.
A 7 with the
plus
darkness
1.
penalty. So
Right.
yes, that is stealth. With you steel yourself, knowing that stealth is not necessarily always your strongest point, but you remember this is important. And
I start walking, and I'm like walking, and I look to the side, and I'm about to step on a stick, and as it happens, I just like and sidle like 1 foot to the left, and then just like move on past.
it's just like when you're walking. And it looks like you're about to trip, and then you just kind of turn it into, I was just jumping 3 times.
You
real
willy
quick."
wonk it just a little bit.
And nobody knows what
Yeah.
happened. Everybody just thinks you're a super graceful, cool guy. So you make it over behind that other building. Your
Yep.
turn, Rosalie.
All right.
Fate
screw
just
this
tells
up.
me to do that.
2 and a 3.
I said, does she get a +1 as well?
She does get a +1.
Oh, that's a 4.
That is a 4.
So-
And since no one is paying any specific attention to you guys, you do also manage to make it across. Noting, just as Gabriel did, that stick that was there that you almost stepped on.
Yeah, dude,
It's dry stick.
Don't
Step
step on
right
that
over
stick.
that and make it across. Okay,
Gabe's just like, stick.
There's a stick there, Rosalie. Don't step on the stick.
so you guys made it.
Stick is there to get us.
You made it across over there
Fuck
behind
that
that other
stick.
building.
You like that stick?
Stick!
Rose, don't step on the stick!
What the hell?
We're all just staring at him like,
Marshall,
what are they doing?
don't step on the stick, Marshall.
They're going the other way.
All right.
let's just go
That's
around
not canon.
the
That
corner.
doesn't
We're
happen.
following his plan? No,
No,
this is canon? Damn. Okay.
I'm going to the bathroom real quick.
You're going to go to the bathroom? real
Yes.
That's
so-
it.
All right.
quick? That's terrible timing.
Well, okay, I'll wait.
No, go to the bathroom.
I figured you were going to do his side of
a
things,
real
but
We're just going to go around
let's
the
do it.
corner.
Let's do it. Okay.
Well,
It's not a rush. I just thought you were going to.
so as you're moving across there and kind of looking back and signaling that you're about to go out, you hear a loud shout from down the street. And it's an unfamiliar voice that shouts out, "Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? All right, now everybody just quiet down, pay attention to me. I need your help. Okay? Now what would be very helpful to me and my friends here is if all of you were to go to your homes and places of business and bring back all of your valuables and put them here in this sack here in the middle of town. Now that would be very helpful to me and my friends here. So if you could all do that post haste, and also it would be very helpful if you were not distracted on the way by anything else. Just go out there, grab your valuables, and bring them back here to the middle of the street. Put them right in this bag, all
Damn
right?
it, I thought about saying that.
There we go.
Can we see who this is?
You can't from there. It's coming from off down this way, back where the marshal came from. You can just hear it. It's very loud, and you hear the assembled crowd just sort of like start to quiet down, and then you guys can probably see that they just start sort of like to just turn and like walk off in different directions, like they're listening.
What do we do now?
Well, that might have thrown a little bit of a wrench in our plan, although these people have seemed pretty fickle about what it is that's helping people. So I don't know if it will work as cleanly as this clever man out there thinks it might.
What I tell you, boys, worked just as easy as they told us it would.
All right, I want to make my way around the building and like try and see who that is.
Okay. So it's actually coming from down over here. So do you want to try and come?
Well, I'll just head out in like down here then.
Okay,
Still trying
so
to be kind of discreet. but-
Everyone actually, the crowd has suddenly, they're not violent anymore. They seem suddenly docile, and they're just sort of just slowly walking off in other directions. So you kind of peek your head out, but none of them really seem to be paying you any mind. And walk out a bit, but no one's really looking at you. So you just kind of walk down. You see a rather unsavory looking fellow there. And he looks back at two other... Oh no! Hold on, I can fix this. Two other people that seem to be with him. And they do have a large sack just kind of at their feet.
Nobody we recognize.
And they're just waiting. No one you recognize.
All right. I think I'm going to, like, walk out to them.
Okay.
Well, I'm following then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Knife drawn.
put yourselves out here. We'll take this burst template
So,
off.
okay, we kind of came from this direction, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make my way over. Is this actually here?
The carriage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of go near the carriage.
Okay.
Because in worst case scenario, I can like dive behind it.
Okay, so you're walking over to the carriage, and the guy in front kind of looks over at you, and as you walk closer, you see that there's more than just the ones that were there.
Do I recognize any of them?
No, none of them. And
You have a bowling ball?
Now look,
the,
gentlemen.
the one in the front looks over at you and says, maybe you didn't hear me. You're supposed to go back to where... I'm sorry. It'd be real helpful if you went back to where it is you live.
I see what it is you are trying to do here, and I cannot begrudge you your industriousness. But let me tell you that these people are more dangerous than you might believe.
He turns back over his shoulder and says, this must be the preacher. All right, preacher, you can just go back to your church and just... Nothing to see. We got this situation under control, all right? So you just head on back.
Do. Now look, it might seem like these people are easily manipulated at the moment, and for a moment they are. But they will get violent, and they will get very uncontrolled very quickly.
Will they, preacher?
Yes, they will. I saw a man rip another man's arm off in front of the doctor's office.
Whew. Now that does sound rough.
Now look, I understand that you are here to get your own fortune. But this situation must be dealt with for all of our sakes.
Listen, preacher, we ain't supposed to do much with you. We're supposed to leave you alone to your business, but we got the situation well in hand. So why don't you just go ahead and just head on up to the church and get yourself a good night's rest.
Who are you?
All right, you too, miss.
Who are you getting your orders from?
Don't you worry about that none, all right?
I am
now,
quite worried about it. I want to know who.
all right, well, I'm a little bit worried that you aim to not listen to what we're asking you to do. And they all reach to the guns that you see they have at their side, and they say, so we're going to ask you one more time, real polite-like, to just head on back up to the church and let us handle this, all right? By tomorrow morning, this whole thing will probably be just an unpleasant dream to you.
Maybe we should go to the church, preacher.
I reckon you should. Preacher?
You stand out here and wait for these people to come out and bring their money to you. I don't care how many guns and men you have. You will have a very untenable situation on your hands very fast.
Preacher, you strike me as the kind of person who thinks that he knows everything about a situation, but let me just let you know there's things going on here that you ain't rightly aware of. So why don't you just head on back up to the church and let us worry about the scary townsfolk gonna come rip our arms out of our
Preacher, it
sockets.
seems that they are taking orders from someone much smarter than them. They don't really have any information, so we might as well go back to the church and just go about our own business.
Are you trying to do anything with that?
Well, okay, maybe.
That sounds like a taunt roll
Sure.
to me.
I was trying to see if I could get any more information from him.
Okay, why don't you make a taunt roll?
Taunt roll.
Well, that's, I mean, it's an opposed roll. It's
Can
opposed by his
I
smarts.
wait to see if... See that roll before I re-roll?
Technically, no. I mean, we've handled it that way in the past, but really, you're supposed to
But I
re-roll.
get to keep the highest.
I mean, cursed Spanish gold, that operates under different rules, so we'll say
it?
sure. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a smarts roll here real quick.
Oh.
He rolled a 2.
Well, okay then. Wait, but question about that, the way this works. So,
Answer.
Since most things it's an opposed roll. So does needing to hit a 4 go out the window there?
Not in this specific situation. I'm going to run this like you were doing a test of will in combat.
Okay.
You're not in combat, but that seems to be the best way to run it right
Okay.
now. Hold on there, little lady. What exactly are you trying to say? Now listen. I'm the one running this here operation, and I got things well in hand. So why don't you just not talk about things you don't understand?
Oh, of course.
And just head on back up to the church.
You seem to be
Hold
following.
on, real quick. What are you guys doing in this whole thing?
Yeah, so we heard
You've
them
heard
asking
all of
everything.
this. You've heard the preacher's
I am
interaction.
going to use this moment.
Now you
to
can.
invest
Yeah,
in
that
it.
would probably be a good time. You've heard all of what's going on.
Marshall? Are you here, Marshall?
What is it, Bogue? Now, this is a wrinkle in the preacher's plan we didn't anticipate.
We did not. I believe this is something we can do. We can handle.
How you reckon?
Well,
Count a lot of men out there.
it is a lot of men, but I believe I can make them back down.
Oh, you think so?
It might get a little bloody.
You know, between your ego and the preacher's ego, I have no idea how this town has big enough space to accommodate both of your heads. Your giant, swollen heads. But by all means, Bogue, walk right out there in front of the 6 armed men and shout them down.
Well, it would
Just try and keep the star as blood-free as possible so I don't have to do a lot of cleaning before I pass it on to the next deputy.
well, how would you... Do you want the citizens of Coldwater Creek to just capitulate to these men's demands?
I have no idea what's going on here, Bogue. All right, what I would like to do is gain a little more information before I just go charging off into the middle. Maybe they are here to help. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it, but nothing really seems like what it is tonight.
Well, I don't think that they are here to help.
Well, then do what it is you wish to do, Bogue. I ain't gonna stand in your way.
Can I count on you to help if things go a little hairy?
He makes a real affected eye roll and kind of like looks over to Avery and says, "Fine. As you are an officer of the law, I'm honor bound to make sure that you are safe, whatever."
All right, now here's the thing. I'm going to need you to make your way to some positions of advantageous, or advantageous positions, as it were, around these buildings here. And just follow my lead.
Sure thing. You're the boss. And he just kind of snaps to Avery, and they're going to go sneaking off over here.
Okay. I'm going to move directly behind the stagecoach,
Okay.
so that the stagecoach is blocking the vision.
Okay. Make a stealth roll for me. You get a +1 for the light and a +2 because those sight lines are almost not interrupted at all there.
Okay. Okay, so that's a +3 then.
Yes.
So that's a 6.
A 6. Okay, yeah, so you make it over.
Whew. Okay. I don't recognize. Do I recognize them from any of the wanted posters or anything I've seen in town? Nothing.
No.
Coming out of the trapdoor. Okay, perfect. With a pole on one arm. We killed them? Yeah.
Yep, they're dead.
They're totally
Everything's
dead now.
fixed.
We're about to.
They're so dead.
Now, gentlemen.
You shouting that out from behind the stagecoach?
Yep.
Who in the hell's that? You got friends back there?
We have friends all over this town.
That a fact?
I
Yes, it
suggest
is.
you put your weapons down. You are surrounded by U.S. Marshals.
Who? Okay, so that's a lie. But you're also trying to intimidate, right?
Yeah.
Just make a straight up intimidation roll.
Okay. Which I have a +2 there. Yes!
Two aces.
Both ace! Oh! 6 ace again! Okay, so that's 12, 16 plus
18?
2, 18.
Okay. Pretty good roll.
Best lie ever.
Hold on. Let me check their stats out here for a second. Because that's spirit, right? Okay.
Yes, that would be a spirit.
Okay. Not their strongest point. They rolled a 2.
Great.
Wow.
I'm going to use a piece of cursed Spanish gold to reroll that.
Wow. Hoping for a 6, huh?
I am.
You got it too.
Well, what happened to my supposedly cursed dice? I'm gonna use that white fate chip there to reroll.
Oh, and you get to add a +2 to that. When you don't.
I don't. Oh, it's a 1. I'll use another piece of cursed Spanish gold.
Wow.
To reroll it.
You really don't want them to.
I just want to see what would happen. I don't even think I can beat an 18, but I might as well add a d6 to that. I got an 8. All right. So you can't see them very well from here, but you two can, and they pause for a moment and start kind of sweating and looking around.
You think we weren't prepared?
I think you might not have the situation quite in as hand as you thought. I say with the Twix in my mouth.
Where did you get a Twix?
Also, what is one of those?
It's not the time for Twix.
Is it a left or a right?
I bought a single Twix bar and I got 2 candies in one wrapper.
Twix, eh?
They're just giving those away. 2 candy bars. They stop and they look around. Surrounded, huh? Whole lot of U.S. Marshals. All right. Listen, we don't want no trouble. All right, we're just here to collect some taxes, and we'll be on our way.
I think you might want to leave without those taxes.
Well, miss, see, the thing about that is I can't. All right? Now, I was sent here to do a job, and I intend to do it. All right, now, if that means that me and my friends here need to get into a firefight with unseen U.S. Marshals who just happen to be around for some reason, then so be it.
What is so much scarier that you want to get into a fight with that many U.S. Marshals?
Miss, you best pray you never find out.
Put your weapons down and you will not be fired upon.
So you see all the ones behind the guy who's talking just sort of like glance at each other nervously, and they kind of like unholster their weapons, but they are holding them by the barrel so it doesn't look like they're necessarily about to fire.
But the guy in front is...
He's looking real twitchy and sweaty, but he's still got his hand on his gun.
Sir, these men are offering you a way out, and it would be wise if you do it.
Can I try a test of Will's persuasion against him?
Sure.
Oh!
That's a crit fail. That's a crit fail.
No.
Wait, but I can re-roll crit fails with
A fate chip. Yeah,
Yes,
not with
yes,
cursed
you
Spanish
can.
gold, but with a fate chip. You can.
I start and I say, this man is offering, and I realize it makes it sound like there's just one. So I use, this man and his many compatriots. So there you
re-roll
go. I'm using it as a reroll, not
right.
as an add d6.
Be careful.
Okay, then
Be
I
careful.
won't keep
Don't
it.
hurt your Twix that you've got daintily.
This
Why
is
not
my
quit?
Twix. Oh man, I should have just let that be a critical fail.
Well, maybe
Please,
not the best time to
please
do
don't.
that.
I'm not. Okay, for dramatic purposes, it could have been
Yes,
neat, but like,
yes.
let's not do it.
You mean the one time Gabriel Prior fails a persuasion roll?
Right?
All right, that's a 5 plus 4.
So a 9.
That's a 9.
So that's a success with a raise. Versus smarts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 4 again. Where are all these 6s I'm supposed to roll all the time?
You're using different dice tonight.
Yeah, that's the die that rolls this.
Yeah. So you're glowing
They
in the
rolled a
dark
4
die.
earlier.
One.
Yeah.
I thought we were rolling it.
So he just kind of takes your words to heart. All right. Yeah. If you got us that well and truly outgunned, it seems maybe our information was bad. So I just have one request. And he kind of shouts this out to the invisible marshals he imagines are all around him. Now, we'll put our weapons down,
but you don't fire. You take us in, and you take us to jail, far away from here. All right? Is that a deal?
Marshals?
You have yourself a deal. Put your weapons away.
You telling the truth?
Yeah.
You're gonna take him to jail somewhere else?
I will do what I can.
Okay.
I mean, I can't promise that I can get them out.
But you're saying that with the intent to follow through as much as you possibly
Yes,
can. You are
yes.
not trying to deceive them.
I
and
am
saying
not
that.
trying to deceive
Then
them.
I will not make you roll a persuade roll.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. And he kind of nods back over his shoulders, and they take their guns out and put them down on the ground, and he pulls his out. Will you guys make a notice roll for me?
I got a 4.
4?
4 as well.
4?
12.
12.
Wow.
Notice
That alertness edge is
Helpful.
paying off.
pretty
How about
noticey
that?
right now.
I'm going to take this woman off here at the top of the trapdoor. I know.
She almost got out.
But you all of you, you see her first because she's being blocked by the stagecoach here. You guys just kind of hear her. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 4.
No, you rolled a 3 because this is going to be hearing based at this point. So
What?
your ear is still ringing a bit, and you're very focused on these guys making sure
Sorry
they
I
put their
started
guns
the
down.
slapping thing.
You see her just walking over, and she's got what looks like a bunch of necklaces just kind of like cradled in her arm. But she looks up, and she sees those men with their guns out, and then she kind of looks around the coach and sees Gabriel and Rosaline, and that's when you see her as well. And she just kind of just shouts out, "Preacher, are these men threatening you?"
No. These men are not doing anything wrong.
They got their guns out.
I was just talking with them about how much help I need rebuilding the pews in the church because they are not up to standards.
Oh, okay.
I could
Why do
use
they
as
got their
many-
guns out, preacher?
I asked them to do that. Now, they are not going to fire it. They simply had their guns out.
Okay. You sure you don't need help?
I do need help in the church, but not in this situation.
Another woman comes walking up with stuff in her arms, and she turns to this one and says, "What's going on? Why do those men have guns out by the preacher?"
Can I
Man.
see the marshal and Avery?
Yeah, you can see them back there.
Can I motion to them and go like, can you get them out of the street?
All right. And the marshal kind of nods and just kind of hits Avery on the shoulder, and they walk around this way, and they kind of shout out, "Now, ladies, why don't you just follow me? It would be real helpful if you could give me if you could answer a few questions about this that you're seeing right now for legal reasons."
Jesus Christ.
Up at the church. I have to ask you questions at the church.
Yes, thank you, Marshal.
I got to ask you church
Now,
questions.
Gentlemen, with the guns, just to demonstrate to everyone here that there's no assistance needed in this situation, I think it would be best if you would all just place your firearms on the ground at your feet. I think it would be safest and best for all of us to show that none of us need any particular help in this situation.
And they look around, and you can see now too, there are people coming back down the street behind them, and people coming from over that way and this way that have like valuables and family heirlooms and things in their arms, and they're looking around. They're like, "All right, well, hold on, preacher, because now we had a plan, but there's been a little bit of a hitch in it right now, and they're coming back to fulfill what it is we asked them to do. But once they're done, they might turn violent again."
I'm telling you that there's not a mite about it. They will immediately turn violent again.
All right,
so
well,
you
get
need
your
to
marshals down
express-
here to set us up and protect us from this.
Where's the prison? I mean, the marshal's office from here.
The marshal's office is going to be this way from there. That's towards the church and the outskirts of town. Marshal's office is this
What you
way.
need to do right now, if marshals show up, that is a sign that there is a conflict going on. You need to put your weapons down and walk calmly to the church. stating to anyone who asks that you are going to help repair the pews, which are in horrible disarray.
Make a persuade roll and a -2 for me.
Okay.
So just a +2 for you.
That's 7, 8, 9.
All right. All right. Everyone, just the bag's right here, so you put your valuables in it. But we have to go up to the church. We got to help with the church. And everyone within earshot of him just sort of drops their valuables on the ground, and they said, "What's wrong with the church?"
We just need to make sure that the pews are in the best position they can be. So if you were to go there and perhaps just wait in them and make sure that they are working well and that they are not in disarray, it would be of great help to Coldwater Creek and all of your neighbors.
So, well, okay, we should help with the church.
Congregate in the church where your help will be most useful. Calmly, but quickly.
All right, we'll do that. So some of them kind of walk over and put their valuables in the bags, but these guys just sort of like back away from them and start sidling over towards you, and then kind of looking back over their shoulders at the church they can see dimly up on top of the hill just outside of town. All right. Preacher, it seems to be working. Should we?
Yes.
Should we go?
Make your way to the church.
Okay, so they start moving backwards, just kind of walking and keeping an eye on everyone. And they pass some people coming this way who look at them, but are you like continuing to sort of like reinforce this message as people come back into town?
I keep reiterating, your help at the church is going to be so deeply needed and so very appreciated.
And down at the other end of the street, you see the marshal just put his finger on the side of his nose and say, "Yes, everyone, church is in need of some care and attention, so we could definitely use your help getting the church righted. Ain't that right, Avery?" "Yes, yeah. Let's all just start heading up the hill. That's a way." So these guys are backing up over there, and you're dealing with the assembled crowd. What are you doing, James?
I'm going to move out from the stagecoach, but
Okay.
around the back of it.
Okay. So these guys are now actually over there. They're here. I'll use that guy to represent where the whole
Where they
group
are.
is.
Are they looking back?
They're kind of like keeping an eye to make sure they don't run into anybody they don't want to, but they are heading back towards the church.
I kind of want to turn so they can't see me necessarily.
Okay.
Like, so I'm kind of running almost sort of side saddle so that
Okay.
I'm not. They can't see my face or anything like that, and it's just sort of the back of my thing. But I just want to run towards where they were.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna I'm gonna pick up their weapons and like throw them in a barrel or something, or a crate or something that's nearby, just
Okay.
so that they're out. No one can.
I mean, it is a Western frontier time, so there are empty barrels
Yeah,
of
right?
plenty
There's
along
also
the street.
their bag of valuables thing. You could just take a bag of weapons. No?
What am I, Santa?
Yep.
You should take their bag of I would take their bag of valuables.
Yeah.
I guess you're not me, but
James won't,
Right.
yeah.
No, I won't.
but we would take the bag
We
of
would-
valuables.
We would take them.
I very
Are people
seriously
still bringing
considered
valuables
basically the
here?
same request.
They are.
Okay.
They are coming over because first they have to help and not get distracted,
Yeah.
and bring valuables here, and then they're going to go help at the church.
Yeah. So I'm going to stand here. As people come in, I'm just going to be like, your help is greatly appreciated at the church to help with the pew situation.
Okay.
Please continue moving on to the church.
The marshal and the deputy are doing similarly down here. They're kind of instructing people that are coming down this street to drop off their valuables in the bag and then head up to the church where they can be helpful. What are you doing, Rosaline?
I mean, I think I'm going to be trying to head over to the church. I want to try and help, like, funnel people into it.
Okay. So you're heading towards the church as well, but are you also, like, people that are coming towards you, you're kind of stopping to let them know
Yes,
they need
yeah.
to go up to the church? Okay.
Yes.
Make a notice roll for me.
Okay.
Just you. At a -1 because of the darkness.
4.
4. Okay.
1. 1. You know what? I'll re-roll that.
Whoa.
I'm out of fate chips.
I only got 1 left.
2.
Ha!
So good. These guys are looking rabbity, and they are about to book it.
Okay, so...
But you're a little ways away from them, and there's still some of the like assembled crowd, sort of like kind of walking past you.
I thought you said if you didn't leave with all these valuables in your hand, that, I don't know, the person who is in charge of you would what? I'm just saying, it looks like you're trying to run off.
Their eyes widen as they look at you, and you see the people in the crowd between you and them kind of stop and turn back and look at them, and they turn to you and they say, "Do you need help with these men?"
Well, actually what I need help with is the pews in the church, and these men are coming to help me. And I just want to make sure they keep heading that direction.
"Oh, we can help you with that."
Oh.
So they turn over and they start walking over towards the group of men who start kind of like getting real nervous and backing up. They're like, no, hold on, don't do anything rash. All right,
to the church.
All right, we're going to the church. We're going. We don't need anybody to help us go to the church. And they said, no, that lady asked us to help you get to the church, so we aim to help you. And they go over to them and they grab them by the arms and just press them behind their backs and turn them around and start marching them up the hill towards the church, because chat earlier unlocked sharing and caring.
Yay.
Which means that you guys did actually get a little bit of genuine help from the very helpful townsfolk
From the help zombies.
Of Coldwater Creek.
I thought more arms were going to come up.
Nope, they have them kind of forcefully restrained and are marching them up the hill towards the church.
All right. Yeah, I'll go basically over there by the church and just kind of
Help, right this way, yes. The pews need some work. Thank you. Come right in.
Okay.
Thank you for your help.
All right, so everyone just sort of starts coming in, and they're looking around for things that they need to do, but they don't. They go over and just sort of like adjust the pews, but the pews are pretty solid and in place, and they seem to get confused.
I say, well, it seems as though we have managed to fix the pews a bit. What would be very helpful is to try them out in a practical sense. So if you could take your seat at the pews as though this was a regular Sunday, just to make sure that everything in the church is in order, it would be very helpful.
All right, so you say that, and where are you? You're inside the church?
I go up. I'm like basically at my...
Immediately they turn and sit
place.
down in their pews.
It's a Terry Gilliam church.
Chomp. So as more and more people are coming up the street, you can see like out the window that down in the streets, the marshal and his deputy are directing more people up there. Bogue, you're still down there kind of directing people up. Rosaline, you're also up in the church?
Yeah, I would probably, once enough people got in there, I would go into the church, because I'm still ready for somebody to attack.
Okay, so the rough customers, whoever these strangers are that we're trying to rob everybody, they're kind of over in a corner, and they are all being held tightly by different townsfolk just in the corner of the church. And everyone's sort of taking their seats in the church, and then if there aren't seats anymore because people keep pouring in, they start kind of arranging themselves around the walls and packing the spaces in between. Until eventually you're fairly sure, based on the fullness of the church, that this is about equal to what your congregation normally is.
Well, since you are here, I know it is not Sunday, but I think I should take the time to give a little bit of godly advice to each and every one of you.
Now, before you begin, are you up in the church?
Yeah, if people have stopped dropping things off, I will gather the marshals, tell them what the deal is, or marshal and deputies, tell them what the deal is, and that we need to somehow go in there and...
Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. It actually worked. They all went up to the church.
Yeah.
But now, what do you think the preacher will actually be able to get him to stop this craziness?
If anyone can do it, Prior can.
Well, I wish I shared your faith in the man, Bogue, but that's probably the only quality I wish I shared with you. All right, well, Avery, let's go see an end to this unpleasantness. And they follow you up to the church.
And I told them that we need to extricate the men the bad men and somehow like tell them we need to call marshals or something like that to come and take these men away.
What? You expect me to call actual U.S. Marshals in for a bunch of just petty robbers?
Or another town, we should see, or keep them in your own jail. But I think our jail is a little bit too small for all of these customers. But it might not be wise to let them just go back to wherever they are. There's too many of them.
Well, I don't aim to let them go anywhere, but I also ain't going to roll out some sort of welcome mat for them and let them get whatever it is they want.
Well, why don't we just keep them in a holding cell for now, and we can figure out what to do with them in the morning after this whole mess is subsided.
Well, that sounds like a great plan, Bogue. I wish I'd thought of it. Oh, wait, I did. That was my plan already. Now let's get this unpleasantness done with, and then you and I don't have to spend much more time in each other's company, which would suit me fine.
Me too.
All right. So they come into the back of the church. And the marshal and Avery just sort of sidle over to where the bandits are. All right, so everyone is now in the church. What would you like to say?
Now, I have been very pleased to see the level that you all have taken the word of God into your lives and helped your neighbors. And now I tell you that even being helpful comes with a level of rationality. And I ask each and every one of you to stop hurting each other and to spend time on this day, though it is not Sunday, thinking...
It actually is still Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
This is Sunday night.
On this Sunday, yeah. And spend the rest of the night in quiet, personal prayer in your own homes. Now let each person deal with their own problems on their own for the day. Go without a word to anyone except God. Back to where you live. And be at peace. Please. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Will you two make a spirit roll for me?
Oh my God. I hate this.
Oh no!
Did you both fail?
No, I got a 4.
You got a 4? What did you get?
Ah, yes.
You
You're
got
going to add a d6 to it?
Huh?
You're going to add a d6 to it, or are you going to re-roll?
D6, you get it, right?
I do get to keep this if you add a d6.
Yeah.
I'm going to reroll.
Okay.
Reroll good.
All right.
There you
All
go.
right.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. The marshal's going to roll as well.
Oh,
He aced it.
good. Oh, wow.
Wow.
13. All right. So the assembled crowd just sort of, like, they stop, they say their amens, and they look up at you. And there's just kind of like this long, pregnant pause. And then they all just sort of, like, stand up and shake each other's hands and peace be with you. And then they all just start filing out of the church and leaving, including the people who were holding the prisoners. And the prisoners themselves are now also just, like, turned and just walking out of the front door of the
Great.
church.
Yes.
Can we go out?
No one is saying a word to each other after this, though. They're all just kind of filing out and just going their separate ways out into the night.
What exactly did you command them to do?
I told them, without speaking, to go quietly back to their houses and spend the rest of the night in silent prayer and meditation.
Nobody's getting any sleep.
Well, well, I'm sorry.
So the bandit guys are leaving as well. They're no longer being bound. That command has been overridden for those towns.
Marshall, I think we
townsfolk.
should go after these. How many
At
were?
least this one.
Well, hold on. All right. Where the hell did Avery go? Hey, Avery?
I assume Avery is
Damn it,
heading
where
back to wherever it is Avery lives.
I just.
Hold on. He's gonna make a guts roll.
The marshal?
Yeah, as what is happening here just kind of settles in on him. He got a 5.
But he just kind of looks a little spooked. He says, "Preacher, I don't know what it is you're trying to do here, but and you know I didn't necessarily believe the rumors when I heard them, because I didn't think that you had anything special about you, really. But I don't understand what this is, and I aim to figure that out. So you and I, sometime very soon, are going to have a pretty involved conversation. Now, I'm going to go find my deputy, and I'm going to get these men and lock them up. But don't any of you think about leaving town. All right?
Marshal.
Now, I think I've heard quite enough from you tonight, especially here. So I'm going to go outside, if it's all the same to you, preacher. And I would thank you.
After this,
to
I don't
not
think
hold
I
on,
should
no,
distract you
no,
as
Let
a
him go,
man.
Gabe.
No,
Let him go,
no,
Gabe.
Very
well.
So he covers his ears and starts making loud, sudden noises so that he can't hear you, and just kind of walks
child.
outside of the
Very
church.
mature, very
Such
mature.
a child.
But you can see him outside, just sort of somewhat corralling the men who are trying to walk away, and sort of like forcefully body walking them down towards his office, and they don't seem to be resisting much. When he gets down the hill, his deputy comes out of the doctor's office and helps him kind of like send them that way.
Honestly, that's the most perceptive I've ever seen that man be.
You know, I think he's got some surprises for us in store.
It does
so.
seem that way. Should we go back to the doctor's office now and check on Presley? And
Yes.
we should probably, I mean, as far as we know,
And,
Molly's still...
I mean, while it's there, we might as well pick
I
up
have-
a few of the valuables that have been left lying around town.
Gabe,
We should...
I'm
But
just saying they were going to give it away already.
you're right, but these are valuables from poor folk. I'm just saying.
All right.
These are the same
right.
poor folk who have been giving you guys a steady stream of income in the church.
I don't know why we're suddenly
poor folk who
developing
are
a
also
conscience
drug
about
dealers
this now.
apparently, and just making money on the side, just to feed the coffers of the church. Let's see how the boy is doing. Do I have a key for the handcuffs that the marshal used on Molly?
You would have a handcuff key as a deputy, I suppose.
I have a handcuff key.
What's up?
I have a handcuff
You have
key.
different kind of handcuffs, I think you have. Yours
saying.
are,
They're all made the same, aren't they?
I don't know, yours are probably a bit more recreational.
They can be
why
used
is it-
either way.
There's not a pink zebra in the world. How did you get your handcuffs covered in there?
So yeah, you would probably have
Okay.
a key that would work for those.
Okay, great.
We'll say yes.
Okay. So we're going back to the docks then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
So when we get in there, well, before we get in there, I'll go preach it. Now, Molly has not had the pleasure of your silver tongue.
You know, we can take her back to the church if it turns out that is still needed.
And I realize pleasure of your silver tongue.
Yes,
Maybe
let's-
not the most.
Yeah, phrasing.
Look,
They didn't do phrasing in the Wild West, so
That's
Good
true.
phrasing, James.
I'm the wordsmith here, James. So I understand that you have made something of a gaffe, but let's think a little bit.
Yes, as
before
the
we
man
say
who just
such
sent an
things.
entire town to not sleep for the whole night.
I think it's okay for them to not sleep as long as they are not ripping each other's arms off.
I agree.
You did notice, as they were all assembled in the church, some of them looked significantly worse for wear. There was a fair amount of wounded and a decent amount of blood. Some of it hard to tell if it belonged to the person it covered or if it was someone else's. But maybe those are questions for the light of day.
Yeah.
So anyways, you guys are going to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be figuring out after we,
Yes.
I don't know, get past this evening. Because as far as I know, you don't read through Hoyle's book, do you?
I have no idea what the hell is going on here.
So you guys are back at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
And the doc hears the front door open and just kind of pokes his head out and says, and now the deputy left. Am I to take that to mean that everything has calmed down out there?
I believe so.
For now, seemingly.
All right, damnedest thing. A couple minutes ago, Molly here just collapsed to the floor. Not like her boy. Just she seems to be fairly penitent.
Well, how is Presley?
Much the same.
So
So what I
I'll go
said
in.
seems
I'll go
to
in
have
to see Molly.
Okay.
I'll go in the back. Yeah.
Molly is on the ground, just like on her knees with her hands clasped and her head down, and she's just very slightly rocking back and forth.
But she wasn't there. How did
Bogue, uncuff her and let her go back to her own home.
I'll uncuff her and just say it's all right, Molly. Why don't you come?
So you uncuff her, and as soon as you do, as you're trying to talk to her and put a comforting hand on her, she just stands up and turns and leaves without a word to any of you.
Right. Probably for the best.
Dr. Howard's present.
What in the hell is going on tonight? You three know anything about what this is? I have never seen anything like this. And
Doctor.
Yesterday I saw a man explode, so...
How is Presley?
As far as I can tell, he seems to have slipped into some sort of comatose state.
Do you know anything about what might have caused?
I admit it is beyond me. He doesn't appear to have any sort of injury, no head injury, nothing that would indicate any sort of
Oh my God.
bite or anything. He's just out, and he's not responding. I mean, if I hadn't checked for his pulse and checked to see if he's breathing, I'd swear he was dead.
It's not a diabetic coma, is it?
From all the sweets that you've had. Probably not. That's a little dark, even for
that
wild
would be
cards.
real dark.
Well, did you try smelling salt, or I don't know what you do?
Miss Byrne, I tried everything that I could think of to try that I have available to me here. Now, if we was in Denver or something, they might have access to resources that I don't have. But as far as I can tell...
What did you last tell this boy?
This boy, I never told him anything in the proximity of the church, at least.
He always comes to church on Sunday.
Sure, but I didn't say anything to him that I didn't say to anyone else.
Why
so.
would that matter, what the preacher told him?
Well,
Doctor, there are a lot of things going on tonight that do not have clean and easy explanations.
Well, as far as I can tell, I think it'd be best if I kept him here and monitored his condition. Here, at least, I'll be able to make sure that I can force a little bit of water and food into him. Just make sure he's getting at least a little bit of nutrition. And I'll continue to try. Maybe I can wire to some of my colleagues in Denver and see if there's anything that I haven't thought of to administer to the child yet. But I recommend that all of us just maybe get a little rest for the evening. It's been a trying day.
I agree. Well, do you need help with Presley?
No, Miss Byrne, I think I've had all the help I can stomach for one night.
Yes, a poor choice of words. I apologize. Well, we'll be at the church if you need anything in the night.
Sure. I very much hope that I do not.
I as well.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get myself situated here so I can stay the night here on the premises and keep an eye on the boy.
If there's any change in his condition or anything that we can do to help, you know where to find us.
I will, but I should be fine.
All right.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's much more we can do tonight.
I would suggest you do not go back to the church tonight.
No?
You guys still in the doctor's office?
No, I assume we
Walked outside?
Walked
Yeah,
outside, yeah. You should stay in my hotel room. Clearly there's something going on at that church.
It does seem that way.
I understand, but I don't think that moving away from it is going to help. I just need to make sure that I'm not giving any commands that could be taken in an incorrect way.
Gabriel, but what if you're in the church with Rosie and you say something and she ends up doing it? You can't put her in that. You can't put her in that position.
So as you guys are talking about that, a man comes stumbling down the street a little bit drunkenly. It's an older-looking gentleman with a bushy white mustache.
Oh, you have one.
And comes down the street and just kind of blearily looks around and says, Miss Byrne, it's Jeb.
Oh.
It's me. It's Jeb from the Saddlebur.
Oh.
I've been looking everywhere for you tonight. Well, I confess, I went and had a couple drinks, and I might have fallen asleep at the Bur. Town is mighty quiet tonight.
Have you been at the Saddlebur this whole evening?
I'm a fairly sound sleeper, miss. My mother used to say I could sleep to wake the dead. No, that wasn't it. It'll come to me.
What is it that you wanted?
What is it that I wanted? That's a good, sorry, as I might have said, I had a few tonight. I just thought I'd wait there for you, and then I thought to pass the time, I'd have a little bit of whiskey, and then I just lost track of time. Right. Right, you know, time flies when you're having drinks, right? Sorry, couldn't resist it. The joke was there, and I just went for it.
So good with those jokes.
You know me, I'm a jokester.
Of course.
Miss Byrne.
Of course. But what is it that I can help you
Right,
with?
right. So, remember you had me keeping an eye out for a rich gentleman by the name of Gerald Richards.
I'm going to go closer to him and be like, that's right, but you don't have to shout it into the street. Maybe.
Sorry. Well, it's pretty empty out here tonight, so...
Just in case. You never know.
Sure. No, I get you.
Curse, what is it?
Hold on. My mustache got crooked. That happens sometimes when I'm in my cups. Just adjust that. There we go.
Problem. Mustache sideways here.
Yeah. Oh, you suffer from it's a genetic condition in my family. Where were we?
You were talking about Mr. Richards.
Right. Mr. Gerald Richards. Now, it's funny you say that. I ain't met anybody has any idea who that man is or have heard of him ever. Now, you say he's someone from this town?
I'm unsure. He's here in this town, or he has been.
Well, not according to anybody I've been talking to.
See,
now, I'll admit, I don't always associate with the most savory fellas.
Curse.
But none of them heard anything either way about Mr. Richards.
So you're coming to find me to tell me there's no information whatsoever about
That is correct, Miss Byrne. I have failed you in every sense of the term.
No, you've not failed me. It's not your fault that there is no information for this man.
I suppose that's true. Well, that does lift my spirits right up.
I'm glad to help. Well, thank you for coming to find me with this information. If you do happen to hear anything else, though, let me know.
Of course. I will make it my solemn duty to let you know. And as I am a man of my word, I'm sorry, I'm having a very difficult time being witty tonight because I am well and truly drunk.
Curse. Do you have somewhere to stay? Why don't you get on back home?
I might head back to the Saddlebur for a moment, maybe have a nightcap.
I feel like maybe
and then I'll probably just make my way home. I thank you very much for your concern, Miss Byrne, but I am a man who knows my limits, and I aim to test them this evening. So
all right.
I will be on my way.
Well, take care of yourself then.
You take care of myself as well, Miss Byrne. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
This way. Yep, here I go. He goes stumbling back down the street.
Did you tell any of us about your interaction with
No, I didn't.
You didn't tell anyone about your lunch with Gerald Richards. So let's, real quickly, let's catch the chat up with what happened at your lunch at Gerald Richards, because that was an interaction that we handled on Twitter with our Wildcards account. So if any of you missed that, let us know in your words what happened at that lunch meeting. Gabriel Prior.
I met with the man, Gerald Richards, because he seemed like he could be a potential target for the two of us, but what we talked about ended up taking a little more of a personal direction than I expected.
How so?
Rosie, I've made it clear to you, and I think it is now clear to everyone that I believe that there are potentially some powers in my words that I have not expected and do not completely know how to control. I have been testing them recently to mixed results.
Wait, this man was talking about this with you?
The man seemed to know that there was something going on, and he encouraged me, what seemed very reasonably, and now seems very foolishly, to try and do some good with my persuasive powers.
Well, maybe he cursed you, or something
Call
like
it
that.
a moment of weakness, but I thought that it was quite a good idea, especially after the incident with Shadow and his family. But now I think that perhaps, as I should take to be the default for any person I interact with, he was there for his own gain. Now, Rosie, I mean, you and I, we know that it was a great failing of my character to ever trust that anyone is actually trying to help people.
Well,
And this bastard talked me into making everything that happened not happen.
well, it sounds like he was a bit persuasive, but it just seems, how did he have that information without causing it himself?
I don't know. All right, he noticed what I had been telling people, which was the simple test of cutting their hand and marking their door. I simply wanted to see if it was a real problem.
Rosaline, as he says that, you vaguely remember now waking up in the middle of the night on that night that you had what you thought was such a terrible dream about something at the window, and cutting your hand and rubbing the blood of your hand above the entryway of the church.
That long ago, right?
That was not. That was a week or two
I'd
back.
still have like a scar.
It's healing up on the palm of your hand.
Wait, is that what this is from?
Rosie, I tried to talk to you about it, and you denied that it could have been anything to do with that.
Well, it didn't. It made perfect sense then, but I sort of remember doing that in the middle of the night, and that seems very strange.
I
and
remember, and it terrified me. And Bogue, you acting like a zombie like everyone else in this town, trying to help in the most violent and dangerous ways. I can't believe that you, who are my companions and know the inherent bullshit and everything that I am flinging, could be taken under this spell.
Well, it's obviously some sort of magic. It's not something that was within our control.
Well, I don't know what's creating this magic. I know for a fact it's not God, who I no longer believe. I'd have for one small moment in a failure of character, I believed he might exist and might be trying to push some direction on me that was not correct, that was better. But after this, it is more clear than ever that the forces that are out there are not benevolent. And it's scaring me that they are using me as some sort of vessel. I am no man's tool.
Well, what is it that we can do? We don't even understand what's happening.
No, I don't know. Maybe we need to drop this entire persona, this entire way of getting into these people's hearts and minds. It is too much.
Well, if we do that, we have to leave the town entirely, I think. We can't just say, oh, never mind, I'm not the preacher anymore. And if we do that, we might lose the trail of the Baron. Right? I mean, unless you think it's time for us to leave.
Prior. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've always known you a son of a bitch.
Thank you for that.
But
no, he's not wrong.
Still, though, it's not the friendliest thing to say.
My mother was terrible.
But do you realize the danger that you've put everyone in?
Well, I don't think he did it on purpose.
I told people to help their neighbors because we found someone who had been left dead in their home.
You took advantage of a power that you found you had.
I did not even know.
Without discussing it with anybody. You put everyone in danger. Do you know what I could have done to people? What Rosie could have done to people?
Bogue, I'm a man who makes my own decisions, and I do not run them by you or anyone else.
Well, maybe you should start.
I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
I just think it's very dangerous for you to go back to that church right now.
I won't argue with you on that one.
Maybe we should stay at the hotel for tonight until we can, I don't know, maybe tomorrow we can get some more information on what is happening so we at least know how to control it.
Listen, there's lots of things coming at us right now. If Holbrook is still alive, we've got bigger problems than we could possibly imagine. If your voice is clearly changing people into zombies, we've got massive problems here.
Well, I think that there's one direction that I am going to take this problem first, and that is finding and having a little chat with Mr. Richards. The man has set me up, and he clearly knows more than he is saying. And I believe that using our regular brand of persuasion, we could perhaps get more information out of him.
Well, maybe we can start with the prisoners tomorrow. They seem to be the best potential link that we have, if no one in this town. I mean, I don't know how well connected Jeb is, but it's strange that he's not heard anything.
He's pretty well connected, miss.
To go back to the
well
saddle
connected. Oh, sorry.
You're not a part of this conversation.
My ears was burning.
If those men aren't somehow related to Mr. Richards, I will read the Bible for real. That is how strongly I believe that is the
Do
case.
you know how much he hates the Bible?
I don't like it.
I don't think those men are related to Richards.
Well,
You don't.
The terror,
That's a pretty safe wager then.
the terror in their eyes. There was something compelling them.
look,
They
knew,
could not go back home.
They knew that what I said in church was going to compel people. And the only man who knew I was going to try to tell people to do anything was Richards. The only man. Rosie didn't know. You didn't know. Hell, I didn't even know until the words came out of my mouth.
It's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And a lot of unanswered ones as well. And a lot of plans and a lot of thoughts. But as it stands, it's been a long day and a very long night, and you all are feeling quite tired. So are you all retiring to the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all going to stay in James's room,
We're all
or are you
gonna
guys
like,
going
we're all
to
gonna
get your
get
own
like
room?
this.
I think you have enough money to get your own room.
Yeah, it might not
James,
look good.
You invited us to your room. We didn't want to be.
You have enough money to buy me a room.
I left all my room back, my money back.
Now, here's my question. Would it be seemly for the preacher of the town to share a
get-
hotel room with an unmarried lady?
No, probably not.
No. We'll all get our
I
own.
think you might all need to get your own hotel rooms.
I'll bunk with Bogue. The lady can get her own room.
So let me ask one final question for the night. Rosaline, do you have a problem sleeping in a different room than Gabriel
Do I
Prior
have a
tonight?
problem? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're used to it. It's not ideal.
Sure, but I mean in light of what's going on.
I mean, I imagine, I can't imagine that either one of us would stay in our own rooms the whole time. I mean, I
You
figured.
just gotta have the rooms.
Yeah.
All right, well
You're
then
sneaking out like summer camp in the middle of
I'm
May.
fine with it.
Listen, we're con artists and we can't always be seen together.
You
so
gotta
we get
have
this.
image. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta keep an image up.
I'm just going to be in the hallway just being like, go back to your room. Back to your room.
Just in a chair,
Jim.
just your hat down.
Yeah.
Can't control us like that.
You're not my dad.
Go
Bogue.
back to your room.
My dad was a drunk.
And on that note, we will draw this chapter of the Wildcards
Draw?
story, the Helpening, to a close. So
God.
thank you guys very much for that, and thank you, chat,
Thank
for
you.
hanging out with us, and thank you,
Yes.
Timely Lighting Q, for bringing us back to the world of the studio.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys in chat for
Yes,
hanging
thank
out, and thank you
you.
for the tips that unlocked such fun things for this evening. We did not quite unlock the next story reward tier, but that is totally fine. There will be more hints and clues about that eventually. So
Oh, boy.
never fear. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching with us. Do we have anything that anyone wants to promote? I'll start here with Megan. Megan?
Well, first of all, you can follow me on Twitter at Meghan Caves. You can see my name; it's just spelled like that. Let's see. Right now, Jordan and I are in the middle of the Megan and Jordan's Halloween Expookaganza, which is Jordan and I playing scary video games on Mondays at 4. Right now, we are playing Until Dawn, so you should check that out. And then Jordan and I and Gaurav have a podcast where we talk about GMing, and it's called Experience Pointers. You can find us on Twitter at EXPPointersPod. And let's see, our next episode, we release them about a week early for the Saving Throw Show Patreon for $10 backers and up. And the next one, I believe, should come out next week, so that'd be episode 3. So if you want that, that's a good place to get it early. I think that's everything.
And you're going to be GMing your first game ever on Sunday night, so that's exciting.
I
That's
am going to. It will not be on stream,
will
but we will most likely record it, and it will probably go out in podcast form later. So you can check that out. It
look out for
will
that.
be interesting.
It'll be great. Woo. Jordan, do you have anything going on?
Hi, you can follow me at Jordan Pigeon on Twitter, and also check out the podcast I'm part of called This American Lie, and it is available on iTunes. Follow us on Facebook. It's also, other places that podcasts are distributed. Check that out. Also, if you're in the Los Angeles area, every third Saturday of the month, my sketch group, The Money Pit, performs at the Nerdist School stage on Sunset. And that is at 8 o'clock, and we are funny, and we make new live jokey jokes every week.
Wow.
Yep.
And
Fresh crop of them.
if you'd been there for the last show, there was a very wild cardsy type of thing where I came out and just spoke in cowboy gibberish for about 3 minutes.
Wow.
It was very funny despite how it sounds.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I will believe that.
Yes.
I definitely believe that.
All right.
Shiny Professor, thank you very much for the bits.
Oh,
Ooh,
thank you.
Shiny Professor.
And Dom, do you have anything?
Oh,
to,
okay. Look at that.
Oh, and Shiny Professor for the other bits. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do you have anything to promote, Dom?
I would say that come join us Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific for a brand new episode of Tempting Fate, which is one of our new shows. It's Rick Budd and Nick Gilman are co-GMs, which is the first time we've had co-GMs at a table, I believe. And Amy Dallin, Aliza Pearl, Gina DeVivo, and Ellie Glavich are players for that night. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, you can come tune in and check it out. It is September. I will reiterate. So this month, for the next 8 days or so, you can sub to this channel if you have not subbed before, and it's half off. Which is a pretty great deal. That's like $2.50. Or if you have an Amazon Prime account, it is free. It's included within your Prime account. So you can just say, yep, I want to do that. Yeah. And it greatly helps us. It keeps the lights on. It keeps the table clean. It keeps things going and cooking for the channel, which is super important. And next week, yeah, we just got a ton of new stuff. Look for some new shows during the daytime. And some changes to some other shows starting next week. So yeah, the calendar will be coming out soon.
Stay tuned to our social media pages as well for updates on all of that kind of stuff. And then if you want, you can follow any of us at our Wildcard specific role-playing Twitter accounts. That's me at wildcards_GM, at wildcards_Meg, at wildcards_JP.
Yeah, so if you want to see specifically what went down in the conversation with Gerald Richards, that all played out on Twitter, and so you can see some more specifics about what he talked me into doing and stuff like that.
And at wildcards_Dom. And again, next week we will have our new cast member with us. But everyone, let's raise a glass one more time, and let's toast to Tort Law. One final toast to Tort Law, wherever it is that she flew away to be. To Tort Law, wherever it is that she flew away to be. Set them up, knock them down. Thank you guys again for hanging out. Thank you, Brian and Tracy, who were at the con tonight.
Yeah.
Tracy says no, but we say yes. And guys, thank you again for being here. Thank you for the tips. It keeps everything running here. It keeps us creating new content for you guys and bringing out new shows and new experiences that we hope you enjoy. So we will be back next Friday for Wildcards at 8 p.m. Pacific time here on Saving Throw. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great weekend. We will leave you with some finger guns.